Battle of the Bridge commences tonight in Bourne with the Gatemen taking on the Braves with Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller on the Gatemen pregame show. Josh, the Gatemen took that pivotal first step last night in the win over Chatham, clinching a playoff spot, but they want more. They want a West Division title, and a win tonight could go a long way into making that a reality.
Yeah, it would make it all but official for the Gatemen, and that's something that you have to just know that this team, this coaching staff, they all want. It's not just enough to clinch the playoffs, but to get into that one seed and have that potential home field advantage for the West Division playoffs would be so incredible. A win today over Bourne would effectively give them that first place or first seed in the West. What would have to happen? The Gatemen would have to lose out following tonight, and Bourne would have to win out. Two things that are just pretty unlikely at this point in the season, but hey, anything can happen.
A pretty good spot for the Gatemen to be in right now, and part of the reason why they're in this spot is because last night's win over Chatham, when the offense really found its groove again, 9 runs, 13 hits.
Yeah, how great was that, Cory? I mean, it just finally seemed like everything was clicking on all cylinders. Something for the Gatemen that had happened over the last few days when they went 1-2 over the weekend was the pitching was great, but the offense just didn't show up. Just 5 runs during that span, and you get those 9 runs, so everything really starting to click at the right time.
One of the people who led the charge for that Gateman offense last night was Chris McHugh, was on base 4 times, and he joined our Rayna Maggelet.
Rayna Maggelet joined alongside Wareham Gatemen infielder Chris McHugh. Chris, last night you went 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. How do you plan to carry that momentum last night into the 6-game stretch as we're wrapping up regular season?
Yeah, playing every day, having momentum is a big thing. So just, taking my bats with me from yesterday and bringing them today will be big.
You've had a really consistent spot in the lineup. Does your approach change in every single game, or does it typically stay that same?
It depends with the pitcher, but most of the time I'm trying to just simplify it as much as I can, so it's usually something similar.
In about a week, you're participating in the Home Run Derby X competition. Again, you participated last year, you won. What are you most excited for this year?
Yeah, I'm always excited for that, just to, be with all the big league guys. As a little kid, that was my dream, so just getting to hit with them is always fun.
What was the best memory and experience you had last year?
Probably just hitting with Manny Ramirez. That was really fun, yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
How are you going into tonight's game? Any specific goals you have?
Tonight's game, just win.
Yeah, there you go. Well, good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Rayna. This pivotal West Division matchup takes place starting at 6 p.m. You can hear Josh and I on the call on Cape League TV or YouTube.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today.
Sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union, is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Moments away from a pivotal divisional matchup late in the season. Back with Josh Richardson here at Dorn Park. I'm Cory Miller. Josh, we talked a little bit about it in the open. Not the same situation for the Gatemen last night. They can't really clinch anything with the win tonight, but a win against the second-place Braves here on the road would go a long way into making that division title as close to a sure thing as possible.
It gets you a whole heck of a lot closer, doesn't it, Cory? And I mean, not just that, but obviously the season series is already decided no matter the outcome today. Bourne already with 3 wins over Wareham. But just today has to be filled with such pride. Obviously, you're fighting for that #1 seed in the West Division. But also think about the last time that you were here, Bourne got a win in not exactly the cleanest of fashions. The Braves were up early, and then in the 6th inning, Gatemen had a miraculous comeback, scored the 2 runs to take the lead, and then just an absolute monsoon from Mother Nature just completely ruined any chance the Gatemen had of winning that game because it goes back to last completed inning. So Bourne ends up winning that one 5-4, and really just a brutal matchup. The good news is that you're facing a pitcher that you've had success against before. The last time that these two teams played and the Gatemen won was with Folger Boaz on the mound for the Braves.
You said it, the lefty out of North Carolina, who on a whole this summer has been a consistent face starting for the Braves. 5 games started, but the ERA elevated at 6.61, a lefty on the mound, and you said it. Started July 11th at Wareham, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. So the Gatemen hoping for a repeat performance against the lefty.
And it would really go a long way to have this lineup just continue to have success, especially because Bourne has been a team for a majority of this season that has hit the ball really well. It's been pitching that has struggled for the Braves. Now, the Gatemen have been one of the best hitting teams across all of Cape Cod. The pitching, as of late, has been nothing short of flawless. Cory, sub-1 ERA over the last 7 days. Not a whole lot more you can ask for on that front. Now, the good news for the Gatemen when it comes to the Bourne offense is that Kahio Aloy is finally gone. That is something that I'm sure that all of these players and coaches, and especially the pitchers, can kind of rejoice about because it makes this Bourne lineup a whole heck of a lot easier to try and get through.
Braden Randall at the top of the Gatemen order. Digs his way into the batter's box. Leadoff man for the Gatemen after a night off last night. Back in the starting lineup, back to his usual spot atop the Wareham order. 274, a homer, 13 RBIs for the Gatemen leadoff man. Lefty on lefty matchup. The third baseman Wires is in. Swinging on the first pitch is Randall and popping it foul down the third base line. Behind Randall's Chris Ramirez, then Chris McHugh, 2 through 3. McDonald, Cruz, and Colby Turner, heart of the order, 4 through 6. Hayden Yost, Jack Cale, and Drew Rogers, 7 through 9 to round out the starting lineup for Ryan Smythe. Boaz on the mound, into the wind, 0-1 pitch. Taking on the outside corners, Randall taking a called strike 2 on the fastball. LaGrande, Holcomb, Kelly, the defense left to right in the outfield for the Braves. Wires, Waite, Cooney, Lewis, third to first. Quattrani behind the plate. Here comes an 0-2 pitch. A breaking ball stays low beneath the knees. No swing from Randall. It's 1-2. The Gatemen coming in off of that 9-0 win over Chatham last night. Out-hit the Anglers 13-1. 5-2 since the All-Star break. 1-2 to Randall. Connects here. Skies it into shallow center. Holcomb drifts in and makes the catch for out number 1.
And Randall had the day off yesterday. Definitely a much-deserved one at that. He's been hitting so well at the top of that order. And Chris Ramirez stepped up into that leadoff spot. It's really the first time other than yesterday that we've seen Ramirez up towards the top of this Gatemen lineup. And I'm glad that Ryan Smythe is rewarding him because he had a productive day yesterday as well.
We were wondering where Ramirez and Yost would factor into the lineup today, with Randall presumably coming back into the order. But it's Ramirez who stays towards the top from first to second. His first at-bat, right on left matchup, and Ramirez taking a fastball at the knees for a called strike 1. That win yesterday pushed the Gatemen to 19-16, 38 points in the West Division, first place, 4 ahead of the next closest team, these Bourne Braves. Boaz gets the sign, his 0-1 pitch coming. Ramirez high chopper to second. In comes Cooney, fields it on a hop, nice pick, and throws over to first in time for out number 2. So 2 quickly retired for Folger Boaz for this Braves team that dropped one last night, 4-2 on the road at Brewster. Bourne is 3-4-1 since the All-Star break. That includes a makeup game versus Harwich that was rained out earlier in the month. Again, that loss last night. Bourne entered last night's contest just 2 points behind the Gatemen. Now down by 4. Chris McHugh, third man of the order, takes a called strike at the knees.
And again, that loss could be really costly, especially if the Gatemen can come away with a win tonight. It would mean that for the rest of the season, Bourne would have to lose out, or win out rather, and the Gatemen would have to lose out.
1-1 on McHugh as that fastball misses low and outside. Mentioned it earlier. 1-1 to him. Connects here, ripped down the third baseline. That's a fair ball over the leaping wires and into left field. LaGrande over to cut it off. An easy turn and an easy double for Chris McHugh. The Gatemen have a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
Well, the last time that Chris McHugh was here at Bourne Park, he sent a home run over that left field fence, and now he just rips a double down the line as well. It's a good start for the Gatemen here in the first, and now just hoping that you have a runner in scoring position for Caden McDonald. That's been the bread and butter for this Gatemen offense for a majority of the season.
It has been 2 guys who struggled over the weekend, but then really got going again last night, including McDonald. A couple hits, including a homer. The pitcher DH to start things tonight. At the plate with the runner in scoring position. Boas now from the stretch, lefty on righty, curve ball. Misses just a little bit outside, ball 1. McDonald talked about yesterday the value of the infield single that he had to really get him going. He and McHugh struggling over the weekend, but seeing those infield hits help get them going, getting on base any way they can. The 1-0. Fastball just misses. McDonald comes in, 292. The team's leader with 6 homers and 18 RBIs. Hit 5th last night, up to 4th tonight. Hitters count for him, 2-0. Runner on at second, 2 away, top of the first. Boas looks at McHugh, now comes home. Nice breaking ball in the inside corner. Locates at the knees. It's 2-1. Gatemen looking for an early lead. Boas is 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball, slithers outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. The last time Wareham faced Boas, they got a run off of him in the first, took an early 1-0 lead. That was a home game for Wareham. 3 balls, 1 strike to count on Caden McDonald. Pitch on the way. Fastball, pops it straight back to the netting behind home plate. Full count. It's Chase Cruson on deck for Wareham. Fly out, a ground out. A 2-out double. It'll be a payoff pitch coming to Caden McDonald. Boas kicks, fires. Breaking ball stays high. McDonald works a full count walk, and there's 2 on for Wareham.
And obviously you'd like to get that run in there if you're McDonald, but at the same time you know that if they're not going to offer you anything that's going to be close to the zone at that point, take it. Next man up mentality. Chase Cruson hitting just shy of 300 on this summer. Swinging a hot bat as of late as well.
At 291, he had cleanup last night, hitting 5th tonight, ended his day with the single and a walk in his last 2 at-bats. First and second for him here, lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch from Boas, locates a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike. .291, no homers, 6 RBIs for Cruson. Swinging a hot bat for the Gatemen with McHugh and McDonald on for him, 2 away. The 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that slices across the zone and misses outside. It's 1-1. Yet to see a homer this summer for Chase. Saw one in the All-Star game. Swinging a hot bat nonetheless. The lefty Boas kicks and deals. High chopper, foul down the first base line.
He's got 7 hits in his last 5 games, 2 doubles, a couple RBIs as well for Cruson. So he's certainly come up in some big spots. Just hoping that maybe he can flare one into left field, pull one back into right. Anything that can get McHugh in from second base.
Gatemen looking for an early lead against the team. As Josh said, they've lost the season series against 1-3 against Bourne this summer. Second game they played here at Bourne Park. Counts 1-2. Runners take off. Pitch to Cruson. He pounds it in the ground foul. McHugh really got a head start. But he'll have to retreat to second, and they'll do it again on 1-2.
That's a great hit and run right there. Chase Cruson tried to go the other way with it. It was a late swing on a fastball, but it kind of seemed designed. He was in fair control of his bat most of the way through that swing. So that's kind of the idea, is if he can put one between shortstop and third, be a good spot to go the other way and bring in a run.
Bo is trying to work out of early trouble. First and second, 2 away. 1-2 to Cruson. Fastball misses beneath the zone, 2-2. As Josh mentioned, pitching has not been a strong suit for Bourne. They are last in the league in ERA. 4.94 entering play. 2 and on base for Cruson. 2-2 pitch to him now. A weak number to third base. Wires charging, throwing off balance. It's wide of the first base bag. In easily to score comes Chris McHugh. McDonald up to third, Cruson to second. The Gatemen strike first. Here in the first, it's 1-0.
Even if that throw is on target, Cory, I think Cruson is beating that out. He was hustling down that line. That was just a weak number to Wires, and he had to make a charge, and the throw went a little bit wide of Lewis at first. And a tough play for Bourne, but with the speed of Cruson, I have a hard time believing that he wasn't going to make it over to first anyway. Blazing speed, but a tough play.
A throw that just missed wide. It took the first baseman Lewis down the first base line, home plate side of the bag. A single and then an error charged to Wires on the play. It's 1-0 Gatemen, and now it's second and third with 2 away for Colby Turner. Righty on lefty matchup. Boaz's pitch to Turner's a fastball at the belt for a called strike 1. Turner at 245, 4 homers, 18 RBIs for the righty. One of the returning Gatemen from last summer. 2 in scoring position for him, the 0-1 pitch. Backs him off the plate inside, 1-1. The Gatemen got rewarded for putting balls in play last night. Some rough Chatham defense, but Wareham used its speed to its advantage. We talked about it with McHugh, Chase Cruson, similar result. Chris Ramirez. 1-1 pitch to Turner. He takes a fastball outside, 2-1.
It goes down as a single for Cruson, advanced to second on the error.
Wareham trying to give Caden McDonald more run support. Already up by a run in the early goings. Top of the first, 2 out, second and third, 2-1 to Turner. Hard hit on the ground, right at Wade at short. Fields cleanly and fires across in time for out number 3. But Wareham strikes first here tonight in the top of the first. A double by McHugh, walk by McDonald. Cruson brings him home on the infield base hit plus the air. 1-0 Gatemen after the top of the first on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency. As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
The Gatemen have an early 1-0 lead for Caden McDonald on the mound up over Bourne after a run in the first. The righty McDonald out of Florida has been great for a two-way player for the Gatemen this summer. How about this? His last 10 innings pitch, no earned runs, just one hit allowed.
Yeah, now with that said, Cory, he has been dominant over these last couple of appearances. Now, what Bourne thinks is, what we've gotten to talk to some of the Bourne interns, is that they think that there's some optimism that they might be able to be the team that gets to Caden McDonald as of late, thinking that his fastball is maybe a little bit more flat than it's presented itself to both Brewster and Orleans. So definitely something to kind of tune in for and see if McDonald can just keep delivering and executing on the mound the way he has been over his last 10-plus innings.
And this Bourne lineup has been what's kind of carried this squad much of the summer. It starts with Gavin Kelly at the top. 250, a homer, and 9 RBIs for the Braves' leadoff man out of West Virginia. First pitch he sees of the night, fastball up in the zone, check swing. Kelly did not go around. This is Anthony Letizio down the first base line. It's 1-0. Kelly, who typically plays catcher, out in right field tonight for Bourne. The 1-0 from McDonald. Fastball, flied in the air, center field. Yost drifts over into the alley and makes the catch in left center. 2 pitches, 1 out for McDonald in the bottom of the first.
Now batting from Wake Forest, first baseman number 23, Cade Lewis.
Brings up Cade Lewis. He's followed by Braden Holcomb and Cal Sesic. That's 2 through 4. Riker Waite, Drew Wires, Mark Watrani. 5 through 7. Ryan Cooney, John LeGrande. The last 2 to hit in this Bourne lineup. Lewis, the first baseman, at 267, a homer and 16 RBIs, taking a fastball at the knees for a called strike. The rest of the defense behind Caden McDonald, Cruson in left, Yost in center, Turner in right. Cale, Ramirez, Randall, McHugh across the infield, third to first, and it's Drew Rogers behind the plate, catching Caden McDonald with his 0-1 pitch on the way. A fastball rocketed on the ground. McHugh picks it, gets to his knees, flips to McDonald, covering in time. What a play by the first baseman, McHugh.
That one was hard hit, but just a great pick out of the dirt from Chris McHugh. And an even better situational awareness from McDonald to know to cover that bag and drift over to first base and get the out. Also on the infield, though, Cory, we talked about it a little bit, between ourselves before game time. Jack Cale playing over at third, replacing Van Shayen. Shayen's really had a platinum glove type defensive season this summer, but his bat as of late is kind of trended down. Cale got the start at second base yesterday with Randall out of the lineup. Now he gets over to third base, hoping that he can even somewhat replicate what Shane's been doing defensively.
Braden Holcomb takes a ball below the knees. It's 1-0. Holcomb at 279, no homers, 14 RBIs. Out of Vanderbilt, the Braves center fielder tonight. 2 outs for McDonald. His 1-0 pitch. Fastball ripped into left center field. Cruson hustling back. He's looking up, and that ball will skip off of the wall. Cruson gathers and gets it in. Up to second, standing with a booming double is Braden Holcomb. And just like that, the Braves have a 2-out runner in scoring position.
Bourne has been hitting that fastball pretty hard, so that optimism may be correct as of now. Obviously, the Gatemen got away with one a little bit there because Lewis pounded that fastball down that first base line, and McHugh had a nice play.
And the fly out in the center by Kelly. That Lewis grounded at first, as you said, hard hit. McHugh had to lay out, really picked it nicely on a couple hops.
Yeah, the Kelly, he didn't exactly square up. He was just under it, but still, it did get out into center field. That one from Holcomb all the way into the alley.
The righty hitting Sefcik against McDonald, takes a fastball above the belt for ball 1. Sefcik at 375, no homers and 3 RBIs for the outfielder out of Cincinnati. Cleanup man tonight, getting the start at DH for Bourne. Runner on at second, 2 away. McDonald's pitch home, a breaking ball that misses low and outside, 2-0.
And that'll be one of the things to watch out for McDonald, because his fastball has been pretty good, but his off speed that he's kind of worked off of that and his breaking pitches have been great.
It's the second hit he's allowed in his past 10 2/3 innings. That 2-out double locates a fastball on the outside corner here. It's 2-1.
That's the thing. If Bourne only wants to offer at the fastballs, it's going to make McDonald throwing some of those breaking pitches even harder to locate, but also get swings and misses at. if Bourne is only sitting dead red.
See what McDonald has to offer. Pitching from the stretch. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball. Sefcik way out in front of it, lifts a high pop-up just in front of home plate, and it's going to be the pitcher McDonald making the call and the catch for out number 3. No runs, a hit, and 1 runner left on. Nothing comes out of the 2-out double by Braden Holcomb. We played an inning here at Dorn Park. 1-0 Wareham over Bourne.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light.
Hayden Yost begins the top of the second for the Gatemen. Facing the lefty Bows, lefty on lefty matchup. Yost takes a breaking ball low for ball 1. 1-0 Gatemen, top of the second. The 1-0 pitch blasted on the ground, back up the middle. A base hit for Hayden Yost to lead off the top of the second. He continues to swing a hot bat.
Hayden Yost has been special over this last week and a half, Cory. It just seems like every single game he gets better and better. Had 2 extra base hits yesterday, double and a home run. He just extends that hit streak even higher. That's up to 10 straight games now with a base knock for Hayden Yost.
So that brings up Jack Kale, second start in a Gateman uniform. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup after the Yost leadoff single. That one skips in there, missed outside anyways, and it's 1-0 on the third baseman, Jack Kale. It's already only the second inning, I should say, but some defensive changes for Bourne. We'll bring them to you in a minute after this 1-0 pitch on the way from Boaz. Wade taking a breaking ball in the outside corner for a call strike. Riker Waite exits at shortstop. Into the game is Jason Torres, and then Drew Wires moves from third to first. Lewis replaces him at third. Or Wires to second, excuse me. Torres at first, Lewis to third, Cooney to short, Waite out.
A lot of changes.
Only the second inning, as that one was a called strike on the outside corner. 1-2 on Jack Kale. At his first hit in the Gateman uniform last night. Rolls over this one, a bouncer to second weekly. Flip to second for 1. Back to first. Throw will not be in time. Bang, bang play at second. The call was out, says J.C. Fernandez, and Ryan Smythe out of the dugout to talk that over. Hayden Yost is not left.
It certainly beat Yost to the bag. I think the question might be whether or not Cooney was on the bag and tagged it. That has to be the conversation going on between Ryan Smythe and J.C. Fernandez. These discussions never change, and Yost gets ruled out anyway.
So he'll jog back to the Gateman dugout. Kale still reaches on the fielder's choice, so runner on at first now, 1 away for Drew Rogers. Drew got his second hit in a Gatemen uniform last night. A double, scored a run in the 7th. Prior to that, had not had a hit since his first at-bat with Wareham. A 3-run homer. Now he's 2 for 25 in a Gatemen uniform. Hitting 9th tonight, his first at-bat, righty on lefty matchup against Boaz. First pitch, Rogers sees, is at the knees on the inside corner for a called strike on the breaking ball. Rogers has been a consistent defensive option for Ryan Smythe, hoping that last night's double is a sign of things to come offensively. Runner on at first, one away. Throw behind Kale at first on a hop, picked out by Torres, but Kale's back safely. The Gatemen clinching a playoff spot last night. The win over Chatham and the Falmouth loss. Wareham will be back in the playoffs for back-to-back seasons. Another throw to first. Back this time with a dive as Kale tag applied, but he beat it. Wareham obviously kind of viewed clinching that playoff berth as step one. With a division title on their mind right now, a win tonight could certainly go a long way there. They have the runner picked off, throw behind Kale at first. He's dashing to second. Tag applied, throw in plenty of time, and Kale's out. 2 straight pickoff moves. Prior to that, the third one finally gets him.
It's not often that the Gatemen get picked off, mainly because it's not often that the Gatemen steal bases. Right in the middle of the pack across Cape Cod in swipe bags this summer. It's a good move from Boaz. It's tough to get a go and get a good read against a lefty. Tough break for Kale.
Finally, the 0-1 to Rogers is blasted into right center field. That one's down. It splits the gap and rolls all the way to the wall. Rogers around first. He's headed for 2. Picked up in center by Holcomb. He fires it in. Up to second standing is Drew Rogers with a 2-out double.
Now, the easy thing to say there, Cory, is, man, it would have been nice if somebody was on base. But, of course, now with Boaz working out of the windup with no one on instead of the stretch, definitely has a different outcome. And, obviously, pitchers are going to have a different mindset when runners are on base versus when they're empty. But a tough break for the Gatemen. You get a guy picked off, and now you have Rogers hit an extra base hit. Now he's on second. Now just hoping that Braden Randall can put something into the outfield. With 2 outs, Rogers should be going on the crack of the bat.
How about Drew Rogers now back-to-back games with a hit and extra base hit? Now Braden Randall, second time up to the plate, lefty-on-lefty matchup. He takes a fastball outside for ball 1.
It's been the thing with Rogers is all 3 of his hits in a Gatemen uniform have been for extra bases. 2 doubles and a home run.
He can finally turn that page offensively. The Gatemen have a great offensive and defensive option behind the dish. The 1-0 to Randall. Breaking ball. Inside, backs him off the plate. Braden flew to center to start out the game tonight. The 5th meeting that is, between these two squads this summer. Bourne's taken 3 of the first 4. Runner on at second, 2-0 to Randall. Connects here, line drive, base hit into right center field. Rogers getting the wave around third. He'll come in to score. Randall trying for 2. The throw there is in and out of the glove of Cooney, the shortstop. Randall beats it. An RBI double for the second baseman, 2-0 Wareham.
Ask and you shall receive. That has been Braden Randall's calling card for almost this entire season. Putting the ball in play, gap to gap, working those holes that can be formed in left center and right center. What a play from Randall. And now you get that run in.
After a tough 3-game offensive series against 3 divisional opponents, Cotuit, Falmouth, and Hyannis, the Gatemen scored 1, 3, and 1 runs, respectively. They broke out for 9 yesterday, and so far in 2 innings, they've gotten 2 runs. Now here's Ramirez, runner on at second, 2 away once again, as that bending curveball slides in there at the knees for a called strike. It's interesting because, listen, 9 runs against any Cape League team's 9 runs, but Chatham certainly sitting at the bottom of the East have had their struggles this summer. 0-1 pitch to Ramirez, skips in there, misses inside, and it gets away from Cotrani behind the plate. Up 90 feet to third is Braden Randall. So 1-1 on Chris Ramirez. But we mention it, despite the fact that Bourne's in second place at 16-17-2 in the West. Obviously more successful than Chatham this summer, but pitching has not been their strong suit. Entering this game already last in the league in ERA. 2 early runs for Wareham won't help that. 1-1 pitch to Ramirez. Runner on at third. Takes a breaking ball that just misses that outside corner. It's 2-1. Last time Boaz got the start against Wareham in 3 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits. Through not even 2 tonight, he's already given up 5. Randall on at third, just drove in a run. 2-1 to Ramirez. Half-hearted swing, a high chopper down the third baseline. It lands foul.
So, Cory, a little update on that play at second base with Hayden Yost. The call was kind of an in-the-area call, which is more typically seen, when you're playing baseball in the neighborhood and you only need to be near second base or get maybe a tap on second base, and it's 50-50 where it's close enough that you kind of give the call to the defense. Well, in this situation, that was the ruling on the field, and that was what Ryan Smythe was arguing. Because at that point, Ryan Cooney was not near second base, at least in his mind, close enough to call that in-the-area play.
And obviously something where, especially Major League Baseball, before that sliding rule at second, where a lot of infielders would get injured by their base runner going in hard to second.
You can thank Chase Utley for that.
2-2 to Ramirez. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him on the outside corner for out number 3, but not before the Gatemen get another 3 hits in the inning, including back-to-back doubles by Rogers, then Randall. The Gatemen up by 2. We played an inning and a half on Cape League TV.
Being a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Sync Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Caden McDonald getting his warm-up pitches in before we resume playing the bottom half of the second at Dorn Park in Bourne. Has another run to work with on the mound. Runs in both the first and the second for the Gatemen. Early run support for Caden McDonald. He's been effective. He's been brilliant, really, the past 2 outings especially, but run support has definitely helped.
Yeah, I mean, Cory, you look over the last 3 outings for Caden McDonald. He's thrown 15 innings and only given up 3 earned runs. That's pretty good.
Originally, this would have been Riker Waite's spot in the order, the 5th man for the Braves. But again, taken out of the game in the top half of the inning for a defensive change, and it's Jason Torres into this 5th spot in the order. Swings on a fastball, first pitch, and pummels one deep to right center field. Yost drifting back and attempting to make the grab is Turner. Sliding to the ground, he can't hang on. Yost picks up the loose change and fires it in as Torres gets to second with the stand-up double. How about that? Just into the game and a leadoff double
Second baseman number 32, Drew Wyatt.
for the first baseman out of Alabama.
It's a good way to start off your outing if you're Jason Torres. And now that's why run support is going to be so huge for McDonald.
And you talked about the confidence that it seems like Bourne has offensively facing McDonald tonight, despite what he's done this season and his past 2 starts. But now the second double in as many innings. It's the third baseman Wires taking the ball outside on a fastball, 1-0. 2 doubles, one by Holcomb in the first and now by Torres in the second that threatened to leave the yard. Easy stand-up doubles either way. Runner in scoring position for Bourne. McDonald from the stretch comes home on the 1-0. Fastball flight in the air to left. It sends Cruson back, away back, in front of the wall, backpedaling. He has enough room to make the catch. Retreating to second is Torres, allowed out number 1.
You can see Bourne is attacking that fastball and just hoping that anything they can kind of square up is going to go, and banking on that. And then when it's not the fastball, McDonald needs to kind of bury that out of the zone and not give Bourne anything to swing at.
Now here's Mark Quattrani, the catcher.
It's been a lot of hard contact so far tonight.
McDonald's gotten fairly lucky. Some deep flyouts included. Throw behind the runner at second. Randall made the catch, but no tag applied as Torres was back easily. Quattrani spent the first half of the summer with Falmouth, released by the Commodores, then was picked up by the Braves. Hitting .300 with the homer and 5 RBIs is the catcher Quattrani out of Cornell. First pitch, a breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike. That was highlighted by a grand slam that Quattrani had against the Anglers a couple of nights ago. Counted for 4 of the 6 Bourne runs, and they're glad that the Commodores released him. He's been really great since they've picked him up. Runner on at second, 0-1 pitch out in front of a breaking ball, and taps it weakly foul behind home plate. Quattrani will be headed from Cornell to Notre Dame this coming spring. Originally out of the Haverford School on the main line in Pennsylvania. 0-2 on the Bourne catcher. Runner on at second, 1 away. McDonald looks back, now fires home, 0-2 pitch. Quattrani pops that fastball out of play down the first base line. Bourne enters this game 4 points behind the Gatemen in first place in the West. A win for Wareham would move them 6th place ahead of the division's second team in the Braves. Another 0-2 pitch. McDonald kicks and fires. In on the hands, pop foul. McHugh gives it a look, drifting out of play and off the top of the Gatemen dugout. Now, Bourne is in a clinch scenario similar to the Gatemen last night. A Braves win here tonight and a Falmouth loss would give Bourne a postseason berth. As Falmouth is just struggling at the bottom of this West Division. 13-21-1.
Oh, they're up on Hyannis 3-0 right now in the third, so a lot of time. But that helps the Gatemen in the long run, just more teams. Hyannis in third, just 1 point behind Bourne as it stands right now.
Yep, that's for sure. Another 0-2 to Quattrani. High chopper back up the middle. Randall started in. It's over his head and into center field. Torres around third. He'll come in to score. A base hit for Mark Quattrani gets the Braves on the board. It's 2-1 Gatemen.
It's a tough break for Braden Randall. That would have been a tough play no matter what.
From Oregon, shortstop number 11, Ryan Cooney.
Run support is going to be huge for McDonald, and now you just hope that you can limit the damage and hold Bourne to just 1. That's been the big thing for a majority of this season, was that a large amount of Gatemen losses came with teams just having that one big inning. That happened the last time these two teams played. Bourne put up 8 runs in the first inning, held on for a 9-8 win.
And all of the meetings between these two squads this summer have been really close, as it's now 2-1. Cooney, the second baseman, swings at that first pitch fastball, pops it into shallow right field. Randall hustling all the way towards the line, and he makes a nice catch on the run. Had a long way to go. Makes a nice play, 2 away. The first time these two teams met, we talked about earlier, that rain-shortened loss for Wareham. 4-3, the Braves took it. That was on July 3rd. The next night, 5-2 at Spillane Field, the Braves took it. Then the Gatemen got one back, 5-4 at Spillane Field. And then most recently, a 9-8 Wareham loss, but they were down 9-0 in that game. So 3 of the 4 games thus far decided by a run. LaGrande, the ninth hitter in the order, lefty on righty matchup as McDonald misses outside on a fastball. Runner on at first, 2 away.
And you have to imagine that if we get into the playoffs and this is the West Division Championship Series, it would be fireworks every single night.
1-0, a breaking ball. Good spot on the outside corner, called strike one. And that's the thing. If you're Wareham getting a win tonight, you're not only helping lock up possibly the division, you're sending a message that you're ready to compete against the second-best team this season in the West. The 1-1, line drive, base hit into right in front of the right fielder, Turner. Fields it on a couple hops, gets it in quickly. Butrani stops at second. A 2-out base hit for John LaGrande. First and second, 2 away with the top of the order coming up.
Batting from West Virginia, right fielder number 7, Gavin.
Again, just limit the damage. Kelly had that fly ball into center just an inning ago. These guys are attacking McDonald. Doesn't matter how many hits you give up as long as you keep the run total down.
That run he gave up in this inning broke an 11-inning, more than that, but, last 2-3 starts, 11-inning scoreless streak for McDonald. You go back even farther, he's been really effective. Fastball, first pitch to Kelly, pounded on the ground, fielded by Ramirez cleanly at shortstop, flips to the covering Randall at second in time for out number 3. McDonald escapes further trouble here in the second, but not before the Braves get on the board. 3 hits in the inning, 1 run for Bourne, 2-1 through 2 innings on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the second year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today. Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
It's a 1-run game here in Bourne, getting set for the top of the third with Folger Boas finishing his warm-up pitches. It'll be 3-4-5 for the Gatemen to begin the inning. Wareham struck for 1 in the first and the second. The Braves got 1 back in the bottom half of the second. Tight game, kind of a theme between the first few matchups this summer between these two squads.
Yeah, and you're just hoping that the success that you've had against Folger Boas so far just continues to carry over. He gave up 3 earned runs the last time these two teams played and he pitched. Hoping that that can carry over again today.
McHugh began the second, or should I say, got the rally started in the second with a 2-out double, scored the game's first run, takes a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. 1-0, a fastball into the hands. McHugh behind on it and pops it foul down the first base line. Again, it is a test for the Gatemen because this isn't a diss on Chatham, but the Anglers have been struggling, especially lately. And so that 9-0 victory, certainly an emphatic win, but against a team that's reeling. 1-1 on the way. Boas to McHugh, misses low and inside on a breaking ball. So this is a real test tonight, again, against a team that might be below 500, but has played some pretty solid baseball all summer. Hitters count for McHugh. 2-1. Boas the wind in the pitch, misses outside. 3-1. In Shore, the Braves are last in the league in ERA, but they're also the league leader in batting average at .252 entering play. McDonald on deck. McHugh at the dish. No one on, no one out. 3-1. Slapped hard on the ground, but it winds up foul down the third base line.
And if you're the Gateman, that's where you're kind of hoping that you can take advantage and find a way to win this game. because offensively, obviously, numerical categories, Wareham right at the top, and then batting average, Bourne is in the lead. Gatemen are third, just .001 behind the Braves at 251. Higher slugging, higher OPS.
Payoff pitch to McHugh. Missed low and inside. Ball 4. McHugh works a leadoff walk in the third.
So if the two teams are nearly identical offensively, hoping that the defense and the pitching can be the difference maker. This season, Gatemen 3.8 ERA, Bourne at 4.94. So that'll be the key. Can the Gatemen pitching hold up? Because you know that the offenses are going to be neck and neck for a majority of the game.
Lately, the pitching's been great, too. Here's McDonald, a walk in the first. Second trip up to the plate. Lefty on righty. Fastball in the dirt. Gets by Quattrani. Easily up to second is Chris McHugh.
It's a good way to start it. Now you have a runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs for Caden McDonald. In this situation in the first, McDonald drew a walk. Of course, it was with 2 outs, and then Cruson singles. Get that run in. Just hope that the middle of this order can really capitalize and attack this weaker Bourne pitching staff.
Quattrani talking things over with Boaz on the mound. McDonald's the guy who popped a homer last night. And the second straight start for him in which he's pitched and hit in the same game. And he talked about how it's a lot easier for him to focus on one at a time. So against Orleans, his last start was great on the mound, but his first 2 at-bats while he was still pitching, no hits. And then once he got lifted, his first at-bat after the game went to the bullpen, popped a homer to the opposite field. 1-0 to him here. High chopper to shortstop. On a hop, waiting back is Cooney. Bobbles and can't recover. McDonald will reach. McHugh still at second. First and second for the Gatemen. No one out.
And that should probably go down as an error on Cooney. He waited back on it, and that's what you're supposed to do with that high hop. Because if he charges in, it bounces over his head into left field. That time he waited back and had to reach up above his head to make the play. He just bobbled it right out of his glove. Probably started thinking about the throw before he had made the catch at that point. Gateman won't complain.
Not at all. Second error of the night for the Braves as it stands. First and second, no one out for the lefty Cruson. Boaz, check on McHugh at second, who's back easily. Cruson drove in the game's first run. An infield single advanced to second on an fielding error by Wires, who was at third at the time. He's now at second. Again, all those changes across the infield as Waite exited for Bourne. Cruson shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1.
I love that idea. If you're Cruson to try and score up a bunt and move both guys into scoring position, then you bring up Colby Turner, Hayden Yost, 2 other hot bats. Obviously, it's tempting if you're Cruson to try and put something in play. You already have a single today, batting average rated 300, so he's hitting well. But you got guys behind you. Might have to do a job.
Cruson swinging away here. Jam shot. Poked it foul. Fastball inside corner. It's quickly a 1-1. Raised his average up to 300 with that infield hit in the first. 2 on for him here, no one out. His team up by a run. Boaz comes home. Cruson showing bunt again. Jabs at it, gets a weak piece of it, but a foul ball as it clipped home plate. So bunt attempt, swinging away, another bunt attempt, 1-2 count.
Yeah, just try and keep Bourne on their toes a little bit. Never really let them know what you're thinking, but now at this point with 2 strikes, not wise to try and square up a bunt again. So Cruson will be swinging away.
Boaz, 1-2 the count, lefty on lefty matchup. 2 on against him, top of the third. Pitch to Cruson on the outside corner. It's a ball. Appeal on the check swing, no swing. This is J.C. Fernandez. Braves dugout barking that should have been a called strike anyways.
Not very happy with that, but
Jim Fonseca behind home plate saying enough's enough. Big divisional game. 2-2 to Cruson now. Swing and a miss. Chase the pitch in the dirt. In and out of the glove of Quattrani. So a strikeout for both runners advance in the scoring position.
And you know what, Corey? That's the same thing as just a sacrifice bunt if you're Chase Cruson. Obviously, it's tough that you swing and miss, but you advance both the runners, just the 1 out recorded. Now you have McHugh on third, McDonald on second for Colby Turner. This is the same situation that you wanted. You just got there a different way.
Second and third for Colby Turner. Ground out to shortstop his last time up. 2 in scoring position here. 0-0 pitch, big hack and a miss at a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Ryan Smythe gave Colby Turner a lot of the credit after the win last night as one of the returning Gatemen who have set the tone from the jump this summer in terms of the expectations. 0-1 pitch to him here, takes a fastball outside. Smythe mentioned guys like Jacob Faulkner and Patrick Galley who are no longer with the team. In Galley's case, getting drafted. But again, crediting them for setting the tone, knowing the expectations, and having a taste of what the team was able to do getting into the postseason last summer, hoping to replicate that and then some this summer. Breaking ball, chopped foul into the Braves dugout. It's 1-2.
And that has to go a long way if you're Turner to kind of hear that confidence from your coach, because he's somebody that's also improved so dramatically from last year to this year. And it's maybe hasn't felt to him, oh, you know, I'm this big figure. I've been here for the last 2 years. I certainly had a lot of things to work on in my game. He said that being on the Cape this year has matured him. It showed.
1-2 pitch to him out in front of it. Stays alive as he bounces that one down the third baseline foul. And as Ryan Smythe said, the coaching staff sets the expectation. They don't come up here to finish last and miss the playoffs. And he said, obviously, once you're in the playoffs, you get that shot at a championship. Top 4 teams in each division make it. But he said that the guys on this team are eyeing a division championship and one of those top 2 seeds to get home field advantage. 2 runners on, 1 away. 1-2 to Turner. Hit hard on a line, down the third baseline, just foul. That one had extra bases written all over it. Turner just missed it, and they'll do it again.
And that's a really good call from J.C. Fernandez. Just left of that third base bag. He made the right call. Obviously to the Gatemen's displeasure, but that was just a little bit wide.
Couple of foul balls down that third baseline. Turner's gotten closer and closer with each one, straightening it out. That one likely would have plated 2. As it stands, the Gatemen up by a run. Trying to get at least one back. Another 1-2 to Turner on the way. Fastball, just behind on it. Pops it foul off the netting behind home. Four homers this summer for Colby Turner. Hit 6 last night, a base hit and a sac fly in 5 trips to the plate. 2 runners on for him here. He's battling against Boas. Another 1-2 from the left. He misses low and inside. 2-2.
That's a couple that Turner's fouled off. Did a nice job to sit back on that. No, it's not going to be close to the zone. You don't have to swing at it. Work yourself back in the count.
This will be pitch number 8 of the at-bat. 2 in scoring position. Pitch to Turner. High fly ball into right. Kelly coming in. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is McHugh. The play at the plate on a hop is not going to be in time. A sac fly by Colby Turner. The Gatemen get that run back. It's 3-1 now.
That's something that Colby Turner has improved on so much this summer. And we've talked about it a little bit in prior games, Cory, but it really goes back to batting practice, getting that boring BP, the Murph Gray treatment, as Ryan Smythe likes to call it, sending it the other way, working to all parts of the field, not just trying to be a pull hitter. You send that into right field. It's a long throw out there for Kelly. Way to get that run back.
Here's the lefty Hayden Yost. A base hit his first time to the plate. Takes a breaking ball in the outside corner for a called strike. His Florida teammate and Caden McDonald got up to third on that sac fly. And Yost, who had 3 hits, including a homer last night, scored 3 runs, had a base hit in the second. Facing Boas, taking low and outside, ball 1. Yost also kind of was lamenting what Ryan Smythe was saying, calling clinching the playoffs step one, but saying they have a lot more steps to go in terms of their goals the rest of the way. Up by 2, runner 90 feet away, 2 away. Pitch to Yost, a breaking ball, misses down. 2-1.
And it's great to know that that's everybody's mentality. It's not just the players, it's not just the coaches, it's everyone.
And Yost has only made that possible the way he's swinging the bat, average up to 258. Hitters count, 2-1 pitch, gets underneath of that one. Lifts a high pop-up, left side of the infield. The third baseman, Lewis, standing tall and making the catch in fair territory to end the top of the third. But the Gatemen get a run back. A walk in air and a sac fly by Colby Turner puts Wareham back up by 2. We played 2.5 on Cape League TV.
Comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for
Strikeout and a ground out. No one on, 2 away. And a 2-2 count on Sefcik, the DH. McDonald asking Rogers to run through the signs again. Gets one he likes. Comes home from the windup. Fastball. Pounded in the ground. High chopper. Kale leaps, grabs it at third, and fires across to McHugh at first for out number 3. Clean inning for McDonald. 3 up, 3 down in the third. We played 3 here in Bourne. 3-1 Gatemen over the Braves.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
We played 3 innings here tonight at Dorn Park. The Gatemen have scored a single run in each of those 3 innings. 3-1, they lead it over the Braves in this pivotal divisional matchup last week of the regular season. Lefty on lefty as Kale steps into the box for his second trip to the plate and takes a fastball outside from Boaz, 1-0. And Kale got his first start with the Gatemen last night. Was 1-for-4. Taking on the outside corner on a fastball 1-1. Almost had a second hit, a fly out into right, his last at bat in the 7th. Nearly out of the reach of Hanley in right field, 1-1. Bounces that one to shortstop. Charging in is Cooney, backhands and throws to first in time for out number 1. And the hope is with Kale that he can spark the Gateman order at the bottom of the lineup. Recent addition out of Columbia.
And that's something that Wareham really hasn't had over these last week or two with Kale and Drew Rogers. And Rogers' bat's starting to get hot a little bit. He's got doubles in back-to-back games, but even heading into today, 2 for 25, 11 strikeouts in a Gateman uniform.
Rogers begins his second at-bat, taking that pitch low and inside. He had a double, scored a run in the second.
If you're Kale and you can kind of change that a little bit with Van Shayen's bat falling off from where it was, got average right around 200, now dropped down to the 160s.
1-0, 2-0 quickly on Rogers. Fastball misses inside. And, you know, Ryan Smythe said that they were going to need Vance down this stretch run, but again, the offense, he's struggled swinging the bat lately. The defense has remained a constant, but in a rut. 2-0 to Rogers, swinging and tapping that one foul off the end of the bat behind home plate.
Yeah, and the defense has been great from Cheyenne, really, this entire year. He's really made that change from shortstop to third base pretty seamless. But if you have an opportunity to bring in Kale, who earlier this summer in the Coastal Plain League was hitting right around 300, I feel like that's an opportunity that you can't pass up.
It's a 2-1 from Boaz to Rogers. Squares it up, but pops it straight back to the backstop. It is 2-2. Talked about earlier some of the stat categories the Gatemen are atop the league in. And really on both sides of the baseball, pitching and hitting, they're playing complete baseball right now. The hitting was dominating much of the first half of the season. 2-2 to Rogers. Half-hearted swing on the pitch in the dirt. And home plate umpire Jim Fonseca says he went around, doesn't even appeal down the first base line. So Rogers down via the strikeout, and now he's hearing it from the Gatemen dugout. Ryan Smythe saying that you got a guy down that first baseline for a reason.
Yeah, he wanted the appeal down.
You can tell this game means a lot to both of these teams tonight.
Oh, yeah. No one wants to lose this.
Randall at the top of the order, doubled in a run his last time up at the plate, takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike one.
Because, again, on the Gateman side of things, you win this game, you all but clinch the West Division. On the Bourne side of things, you beat the team that wins the division 4-1 in the season series. It gives you a lot of confidence for a potential playoff.
Last pitch in the dirt. Randall draws even in the count, 1-1. 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. No one on for him, 2 away. Boaz's 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball that misses inside, 2-1. When you look at those stat categories, the Gatemen are top 3 in the league in runs, they're first. Average, they're second. OPS, they're first. On the pitching side, they're third in ERA and first in batting average against. All entering play tonight. 2-1, pitch to Randall. Breaking ball, high fly ball, slicing foul down the left field line. LeGrande gives it a look, but it makes the seats. Wareham's the only team to be in the top 3 across the league in all of those categories. It just gives you a sense how they are playing complete baseball. Get to it, by the way, the only other team in the league that's top 3 in some of those last 3 categories, OPS, ERA, and batting average against. A 2-2 to Braden Randall. Boaz misses in the dirt. Full count. On deck is Chris Ramirez. This Wareham pitching staff has only aided and complemented this lineup, especially the past 4 nights. Payoff pitch. Skips in there. Ball 4. Randall lays off and works a 2-out walk.
That's what Braden Randall is so good at. RBI single in the second, comes back up in the 4th, works the walk. Even with the 2 outs, he just keeps the train moving and gives someone else another opportunity to bring in a run.
Now it is Chris Ramirez. Came into this game hitting .432, no homers, 6 RBIs, 0 for 2 tonight, a ground out and a strikeout. Was elevated to the top of the order last night in the leadoff spot. With Randall back in the lineup, hitting second tonight. Randall's on at first, throw over behind him. He's back standing. And so with the lefty on the mound, it was the lefty Yost that moved down from second to 7th tonight. But the way that he has started to hit, the way Ramirez is hitting, you have a lot of options to play around with if you're Ryan Smythe throughout the order. First pitch to Ramirez. Swings at it, bounces it to shortstop on a high hop. Cooney will flip it to the second baseman. Wires covering the bag. The easy way for out number 3. No runs, no hits. Nothing doing for the Gatemen in the top half of the 4th. Still a 2-run advantage over the Braves here in Bourne. We move ahead to the bottom of the 4th on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
The first 4 games between the Braves and the Gatemen this summer have been extremely close. Why expect anything different? 2 squads have delivered, and 2
hard-hit baseballs, either the first, second, into the outfield. He's got 32 pitches, and he's working efficiently. You just hope that that trend can continue instead of it feeling like he's playing with fire a little bit.
He'll face Jason Torres. Appeared in the game as a defense replacement and doubled, scored a run, the only one for the Braves in the second. Takes a called strike on a curveball. Before that first pitch of the inning was thrown, Drew Rogers behind home plate and Jim Fonseca having a friendly chat. Keep in mind in the top half of the inning, Rogers was called out via strikeout. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball in the inside corner. Fonseca elected not to appeal down to first on the check swing by Rogers, much to the chagrin of Rogers and the Gatemen dugout.
You want to be careful. You still want to get some good calls when you're behind playing catch.
0-2 pitch from McDonald. Breaking ball, skips in the left-handed batter's box for ball 1.
You want to talk about playing with fire. That's that right there.
So
especially as a catcher.
So trying to patch things up perhaps. And again, it looked like a very friendly chat between him and home plate umpire Jim Fonseca. 0-1-2. McDonald winds and pitches. Breaking ball just misses the outside corner. 2-2.
And this is one of those things. McDonald is trying to work that breaking ball east and west, and that fastball so much more north and south to the point where it's all the way out of the zone. And if you can get a team that's sitting dead red to chase on a fastball, you won't complain.
2-2, rocketed back up the middle, kicks off of the second base bag into center field. Jason Torres is 2 for 2 tonight. A base hit here. That one nearly clipped McDonald on the mound. Leads off the 4th with a base hit.
And that was the fastball, and it was right down the middle. Almost on a tee for Torres. Leadoff single for him. And it's a good thing that that didn't clip McDonald and just drifted into center field.
Torres came into this game at just 105. Somewhat limited action for the Braves, but again, replacing the shortstop Waite, who exited the game. He's 2 for 2 tonight. So now here's Drew Wires, flew to left, his only other trip to the plate, and takes a curveball at the knees for a called strike 1.
It's been so rare that any Bourne hitters have been swinging early on some McDonald breaking pitches. That's why he's thrown them so often in counts early on. Get ahead in counts and then hope that you can deliver some pitches down the stretch.
Is 0-1, another breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by Rogers. That's what it seems like for McDonald. How can you get the hitters off of that fastball? He's had no difficulties doing that his last 2 starts. 1-1, breaking ball, and a good one. Bends in there at the knees, called strike 2. A guy in McDonald against Brewster, pitched 5 no-hit innings. 5 shutout innings against Orleans. Limit of the damage so far tonight. His 0-2 with a runner on. Hit hard down the third base line, foul.
That's the thing. Bourne is just kind of daring him to throw fastballs and then adjusting on anything off speed or breaking. You just have to hope that you can catch him off guard. Blow it by for an out.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Wires. Came in at 265, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. That foul ball on a line down the third base line after the leadoff base hit by Torres. 3-1 Gatemen. Last of the 4th. McDonald from the stretch comes home. Fastball flight in the air, right field. Turner having a tough time reading it initially, but no difficulties for him here, trying to fake out the runner at first. Torres, he makes the catch for out number 1. Turner put his hands up as if to say he didn't know where it was, but with Torres getting an aggressive lead off of the bag, serving as a tactic to maybe double up Torres. He scurried back to the bag, so now 1 on, 1 out for Quattrani, who drove in Bourne's first and only run of the game to this point with a base hit up the middle. Second at bat, breaking ball, it's in there, called strike. The 6th RBI with Bourne this summer. Again, Quattrani's been with Falmouth and Bourne. McDonald fires 0-1. Breaking ball misses just below the knees. It's 1-1.
It's got to be pretty fun going from West Division team in dead last to West Division team in second place. I mean, obviously Drew Rogers came over from Brewster, but at that time the Whitecaps were 1-2 in the East, so now just moving over to a top team in the West.
Pitch from McDonald on the 1-1. Fastball misses low, 2-1. The Commodores have just struggled at the bottom of the West Division. Lost last night with the Gatemen win. Wareham was the first team to punch their playoff ticket this summer. 2-1. Pitch from McDonald. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss from Quattrani. Count even at 2-2.
Now Falmouth helping out the Gatemen, up 7-0 on Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks 2 points behind Bourne as it stands right now. So with a Gatemen win, a Hyannis loss, you just kind of keep inching your way closer and closer to clinching a 4 seed, clinching a 3 seed. Hopefully, eventually, the 1 seed.
2-2 pitch from McDonald misses low. Count goes full. Ryan Cooney on deck. And that's the thing. I mean, Bourne is the closest team to the Gatemen. 4 points behind Wareham. And Hyannis 2 points behind Bourne, 6 behind Wareham, Katuitt 7 behind the Gatemen. But those 2 other teams besides Bourne really still have a chance for that first place spot mathematically. 3-2 pitch, breaking ball just off the inside corner of the plate. Quattrani works a full count walk to put 2 runners on for Ryan Cooney with 1 away.
Now you have a chance against the bottom of this lineup. Rogers is going to pay a visit to McDonald on the mound just to talk about some things. Now here comes Eric Luxus. Again, Cory, it's kind of felt like he's been playing with fire a little bit. This has been his longest inning to date so far. Torres at bat, 5 pitches. Wires, 5 pitches, and then that was a 6-pitch walk.
I mean, you're talking about a guy, the past 2 starts has just practically faced no traffic on the bases. 1 hit across his past 2 starts, 10 innings.
Yeah, I mean, 48 pitches right now. He's got just 1 out here in the 4th. That's a third of his total pitch count. Got to settle down here. And Bourne reading him a little bit better. This is the end of the 2nd time through. And that's been something the Gatemen have done a lot of this season is right as it turns over to the 3rd time through the order, go to the bullpen, give the offense a different look. Can't imagine that McDonald is going to have that long of a leash, especially at this point with Bourne having so many well-hit baseballs.
Jim Fonseca out to break up the visit on the mound. Prolonged talk between Eric Luxus, the rest of the Gatemen infield. The base hit by Torres, then a flyout from Wires. Quattrani walks, so it's 1st and 2nd. Tyne run is on base, bottom of the 4th, 2 on, 1 out for Ryan Cooney. Popped to 2nd. His first at bat. Pitch from McDonald, a fastball right at the knees for a called strike.
And he's locating well. That hasn't been McDonald's issue. Nothing's been too wild. That was just the first walk allowed. Just everything getting hard hit.
Facing Cooney here. Comes home, 0-1. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball down. Gets ahead of the second baseman, Cooney. Ryan Cooney, one of the few Bourne hitters, not producing this summer at 188, no homers, 5 RBIs, the infielder out of Oregon. Quickly behind 0-2 with 2 runners on. McDonald gets the sign, hooks the runner at 2nd. 0-2 pitch. High chopper to shortstop. Ramirez charging back, pedaling now. It's off of his glove and into center field. Around 3rd and scoring is Jason Torres from 2nd. Quattrani up to 2nd. An error by Ramirez gives the Braves their 2nd run. They're down by just a run now.
That is a tough break. It's a difficult play for Chris Ramirez to make. It was a high chopper. Very similar to the one that Ryan Cooney misplayed at shortstop earlier in this game. That was back in the third. It was a high chopper, and it dipped out of Cooney's glove. Didn't get a good feel on it. That one didn't even make it into Ramirez's. Took a hop into center field. Tough break. You still have that one-run cushion, but that one is not on McDonald.
So the first error of the night for the Gatemen, E6. Now it's LaGrande cutting and missing at that big curveball in the outside corner. It's 0-1.
That was certainly a chance to maybe turn two. Would have been a tough pull, but definitely could have gotten that out at second. Maybe a throw to first could have been in time. Doesn't matter now.
A 1 pitch from McDonald. Up in the zone, fouled straight away. Out of play by LaGrande. It seemed like for sure you at least would have gotten one out there. Ramirez was kind of in between. He started to charge, then slammed on the brakes, backed up, and that chopper just ate him alive. McDonald's gotten ahead of LaGrande here, 0-2. Quattrani on at second, Cooney at first. Pitch from the righty. That one just drifts outside, 1-2.
He had Cooney 0-2 as well. Bourne having a lot of good two-strike hits.
LaGrande came in at 275, 16 RBIs, a base hit in the second. 1-2 pitch, bounced in the dirt. Rogers, the answer behind the plate to keep it in front of him. And Drew Rogers really has just kind of been a backstop behind the home plate area for Wareham. The bat has started to come alive. Seems like the past two nights, 2 extra base hits, but seldomly anything gets by him. For the catcher out of Georgia Tech, McDonald, his 2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off of the front foot of LaGrande. Got the side of his cleat, and they'll do it again. And at this point, how long is the leash for McDonald? He's gone 5 innings in back-to-back outings. Playing here in the bottom of the fourth, he has just 1 out, 2 runners on. Comes home on the 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. LaGrande came up empty on that hack. Out number 2 in the bottom of the fourth as the lineup turns over for Bourne.
That's a huge second out. Gatemen have responded well when the Braves have put up runs, hoping that McDonald can get through this fourth inning still with that lead. Have to imagine that this might be his last inning, potentially his last batter, with the lefty Lewis standing on deck. Bring a lot of confidence if he can get out of this.
Can he escape with the lead intact? A breaking ball to Kelly at the top of the order, who's 0 for 2. Turns his back. It's 1-0 as it missed inside. He's facing the team coming into play that leads the league in batting average. A tall task for McDonald. Turns and throws to Randall at second. Quattrani reading it all the way. He's back easily. He's the lead runner at second. Cooney, who reached on the air, is at first. Hits are even at 5. Errors by both sides. 1 by Wareham, 2 by Bourne. 1-0 from McDonald. Fastball. Connecting on that is Kelly, but he wraps it foul down the first base line. Top of the order, 1 through 4 really hasn't been a huge problem for McDonald. Collectively, they have just 1 hit tonight in 8 trips to the plate. Facing the leadoff man, Kelly, with 2 runners on. Quattrani dancing at second. McDonald fires home. The breaking ball stays up above the belt. 2-1. As Josh said, the lefty Lewis is on deck. See if he comes to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth. A 3-2 game. Hitters count. 2-1 pitch by McDonald. Breaking ball right at the knees. Good pitch. 2-2.
Perfect spot. You get the hitter off of the fastball a little bit. Show that you can execute with a good breaking pitch at the knees. Now you got that 2 strikes. You can go to anything here if you're McDonald.
2 runners on, 2 away. McDonald on the mound. 2-2 pitch to Kelly. Fastball hit on the ground through the right side into right field. Quattrani getting the wave around. The throw from Turner on a couple hops. Play at the plate. Quattrani is out at the plate. Scott Landers apoplectic out of the Bourne dugout. He is furious at the call. The Gatemen out of the inning. A 3-2 lead intact. The throw coming in from Turner was several hops on the money. Rogers applying the tag. Landers continue to talking it over with Jim Fonseca at the plate. The Gatemen escape the inning up by a run. They bend, they don't break. We move ahead to the fifth. 3-2 Gatemen over the Braves.
At the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan & McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan & McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan & McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
It wouldn't be a Braves-Gatemen game without some drama, and we saw plenty of that to end the fourth inning. Colby Turner cutting down Mark Quattrani at the plate. The base hit by Kelly. Out call made by Jim Fonseca to get the Gatemen out of the inning with the lead. And Josh, it looked like for a second Scott Landers, the Braves manager, might have gotten tossed, or we thought maybe it was leading to that. Does not, but he was certainly really furious with the call.
It was certainly an energetic conversation between him and Jim Fonseca. Not enough to warrant an ejection, but certainly something to keep an eye out for. I mean, this top half of the fifth, the midway point in this contest, and he's had a couple interactions that have been more than feisty, to say the least.
Meanwhile, on the mound, Jack Brown takes over for Folger Boas. First pitch to McHugh, right there for a called strike. Brown out of Louisville, 6'1" righty, 1-0, 8.59 ERA with Bourne this summer. 0-1 to McHugh. Fastball hit on the ground to shortstop. Cooney gobbles it up, fires across the diamond in time for out number one. So Boas was able to bend, didn't break, runs in the first, second, and third. So not a great performance, but again, he kept his team in the game.
Yeah, and just one of those 3 runs were earned. So while he kept his team in the game, his team defensively didn't do him a whole lot of favors.
Yeah, 2 errors behind him. And now here's Caden McDonald, who reached base on one of those errors, most recently by Cooney at shortstop. A walk and an E6, the line for McDonald at the plate. 0-1 pitch on the way. 0-0, that is, from Brown. Misses low. Ball 1. Wonder if McDonald's done on the mound. Had that prolonged inning in the fourth. Winding the pitch from Brown. Bounce into the ground foul, 1-1 on McDonald. And again, last time against Orleans when McDonald's line was done on the mound, exit of the game, that's where he really started to swing the bat at the plate. Here in the top of the fifth, that is. Allowed a run in the bottom of the fourth on the mound. First inning of the work out of the bullpen for Brown. 1-1 pitch. McDonald gets underneath of it and skies it out of play behind home plate.
Yeah, and at this point with 62 pitches through 4 innings, usually that's pretty efficient, especially with 43 strikes for McDonald. But he was hit hard and giving up that second earned run in the fourth. Might be it for him. So now he just gets to focus on the plate.
1-2 pitch, breaking ball, hammered into center. It traces Holcomb back, drifting in front of the fence. He's got plenty of room. McDonald gave it a ride, but to no avail. 2 away.
Now batting from Central Florida, left fielder number 4.
And the Braves have now out-hit the Gatemen at 6-5. Still trail by a run, though. You got to think a 1-run lead, certainly not safe. For Bourne, last time these two teams played, a 9-run lead almost was not safe. The Gatemen scored 8 unanswered runs at home, came all the way back. Again, down 9-0, nearly tied that game up. Bourne ultimately took it 9-8. Cruz then steps up to the plate, lefty on righty, and takes that one on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Chase is 1 for 2 tonight. Infield single in the first, struck out in the third. First at bat against the righty Brown. Into the windup, his 0-1 pitch to Cruzen. Blasted in the air to center field. The center fielder Holcomb chasing it down in the gap. Gloves it, makes the catch for out number 3. Some loud contact in the inning for the Gatemen, but no hits for Wareham. They go quietly, 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th. So holding on to that 1-run lead here on Cape League TV.
Being a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Sync Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest and let us Sync Law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
1-run game here at Dorn Park, 3-2. The Gatemen lead it over the Braves. Before we get back to action in the bottom of the 5th, let's send it over to our sideline reporter, Rayna Maggelet.
Thanks, Cory. So the Gatemen broadcasters and I and our producers spent our morning at Reader's Hardwood Supply in East Taunton. Reader's Hardwood is the title sponsor for the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs. The owner, Jim Reader, was interviewed by Cory, Josh, and I to learn more about his business and his connection to the Cape League, which, funny enough, he is a Bourne Braves fan. And all of this and more will be featured in episode 4 of Inside the Cape League coming soon. Cory, Josh, what was your guys' favorite part about today at Reader's Hardwood store?
I mean, that warehouse that Jim has, absolutely humongous.
I'll
and
tell you what was
kinda...
my least favorite part, Cory, was waking up that early.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was an incredible.
He was kind of saying in terms of the capacity, the amount of different woods he has, according to him, nothing like it east of the Mississippi.
Yeah, and I believe him. There's a bunch of different, format styles. It was very impressive. And to know that that's, a local personal business, it's good to see.
Shea Went takes over on the mound, righty for the Gatemen. So McDonald tonight is done after 4 innings. It's 2-3-4 for the Braves in the bottom of the 5th. Cade Lewis swinging at that first pitch, popping it out of play overhead of the third base dugout. And obviously we want to thank Jim for sponsoring the Cape League playoffs and being such a big supporter. That being said, we are hoping that his Braves lose tonight.
And, in the playoffs at some point.
Yes. 0-1. Fouled off of the foot of Lewis. It's quickly 0-2. Shea Went on the mound.
Not just because we have a personal vendetta against the Braves. Well, not at all because of that. Just because the quicker the Braves lose, the better the odds the Gatemen win it all.
Yeah, if they win tonight, we've talked about it. Wareham is in pretty pristine place. The rest of the regular season, the 0-2 pitch is swatted foul off of the netting behind home plate. 0-2, it remains.
And now both teams go to the bullpen in the 5th inning. So just kind of hoping that the Gatemans can hold up strong, have that 1-run advantage. Wentz getting ahead in the count here, 0-2, which has been something big for him. He struggled with command a lot, but when he finds the zone, usually goes well.
His 0-2 pitch, fastball laced right back up the middle. Falls in front of Hayden Yost, plays it on a hop, gets it in. A leadoff base hit for Cade Lewis.
Now batting from Vanderbilt, center fielder number 34, Braden Holcomb.
And that's been the book on Went. As you said, the control, the command, a lot of walks this summer. He got ahead right there, 0-2. Lewis wins the battle, though. Another leadoff base hit for Bourne. 1 on, no one out for Braden Holcomb.
That's been one of the things for the Braves. Just 2 strikeouts so far tonight into the 5th inning. Not chasing, not missing. And if you have the scouting report on McDonald thinking that you can get to his fastball, and Bourne did that pretty successfully. You got the 2 runs across. Now if you're going by that same scouting report, you see Went struggles with command, so when he finds the zone, hit it hard.
Holcomb showing bunt, pulls back, takes a fastball up high. Braden is 1 for 2, a double back in the first. Gatemen bullpen lately has been blessed by some tremendous starting pitching, and so they haven't had to really overextend their arms. The 1-0 from Went to Holcomb, way over everything, straight to the backstop, and an easy extra base for Cade Lewis up to second.
Yeah, there's that command. Now you have a runner in scoring position, not just any, the tying run. You're Went. Tighten up, buckle down, get this first out. Then you can worry about that guy on base after. But when you get that first out, everything starts to settle down when you're on the mound.
The Braves have responded. A run in the second, 1 in the fourth. They're down by just a run, and Josh said that tying run on in scoring position. 2-0. Went, comes home to Holcomb, misses high off of the glove of Rogers. Stumbling was Lewis, but he'll still get up to third.
That one was less Shea Went's fault. That was absolutely a catchable ball from Drew Rogers. Really the first one that we've seen get by him that was his issue. Either way, doesn't matter who you blame. Tying run 90 feet away.
Yeah, that first pitch that missed just looked like a breaking ball that Went just did not have a grip on. Threw it straight to the backstop. That one just kind of a little bit above the belt, in and out of the glove of Rogers. Corner infielders are somewhat in for the game, about halfway with the bag. Middle infield is back. The 3-0 pitch, a big swing and a miss on a fastball on the outside corner, 3-1. Now McEwitt first drops all the way back behind the first base bag. Now takes a couple steps back up, so he's about even. Cale at third, about even with the bag, so corner infielders might be coming home on the play. 3-1. Fastball zips outside. A 5-pitch walk to Braden Holcomb. Sets up the possibility of a double play, but there's 2 on, runners on the corners, no one out.
And even if you turn a double play here, that would still likely score Cade Lewis from third and bring that tying run home. Obviously, the 2 outs would be great, and I'm sure the Gatemen would trade that.
Drew Rogers will give out the sign behind the plate. It's Cal Sefcik digging into the box. He's 0 for 2 out of the cleanup spot in the Bourne order. The third baseman, Cale, is in. McHugh will hold the runner on at first, and now timeout called by Bourne. Scott Landers wants to talk things over with Sefcik at the plate and his 2 base runners, Lewis and Holcomb.
Yeah, just to think about strategy here, what to do against Went. Making sure that they know whether or not running on contact, staying put. In a game like this, it's so important to both sides. Every decision that you make really should be crystal clear for everyone involved.
Big spot for both teams with the Gatemen up by a run. Bourne's got 2 on. They've never led tonight. They've trailed since the first inning when the Gatemen got the game's first run. Runners on the corners, no one out. Went his first inning of work out of the bullpen. Cale's even with the bag at third. McHugh will hold on Holcomb at first. Middle infielders are back. Sefcik at the plate. Went pitching from the stretch. Looks in, nods, fires home. Fastball, line drive off of the glove of the leaping Randall and into center field for a base hit. Jogging home and scoring the tying run is Cade Lewis. That missile from Sefcik tying the game up at 3.
That was a rocket. And if Braden Randall came down with that, that would have been
play of the year, maybe?
Yeah, I would say. Now it's a tie game. Runners on, nobody out. You got to figure it out here if you're Shea Went.
If Randall caught that ball, that might have gone through his glove.
Yeah.
Off the kind of outside of it. He was maybe a few steps in with the runner on at third, but really just the velocity and the height of that ball just out of his reach. It's Jason Torres. Appeared as a defensive replacement early on. He is 2 for 2 since. He scored 2 runs. The game is now tied at 3. Bourne has 8 hits tonight. First and second, no one out. Went out of the bullpen. Checks the runner at second. 0-0 pitch. Showing bunt as Torres. Comes up empty as he went around on that bunt attempt. Strike 1.
Smart idea from Bourne. Try to bunt 2 guys into scoring position. Nobody out yet. You get that go-ahead run 90 feet away.
So now McHugh is on the infield grass at first. Kale at third, even with the bag. See if Torres offers again as the pitch clock ticking down to 0. Violation against Shea Went. Automatic ball, so it's now 1-1. It's been a struggle for Went. Came into the game, a single, walk, and another single. Mixed in with a couple wild pitches. 1-1 pitch, will have to wait. A spin and a throw to second by Went. Back easily is Braden Holcomb, the lead runner.
There have just been some appearances for Went that have just not gone his way. Especially against Bourne. Last time he played the Braves, an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned.
Is 1-1 pitch to the plate, taking up above the belt is Jason Torres. Yeah, Went came in for Lazaro Calera, who just had that disastrous start. Didn't get out of the first.
Got just 1 out.
Yeah, Went kind of weathered the storm a little bit, but as you said, still struggled. And it feels like it's hot or cold for Shea Went, because some outings are lights out, but some, obviously, as you pointed out, are not. The 2-1 pitch now up above the belt. Jason Torres has worked the count 3-1. Drew Wires on deck. It was 3-2 Gatemen when Went came in. Now 3-3. Bourne looking for more. Their first lead of the night, perhaps. 3-1 pitch from Went. On the way, a fastball that zips just outside. Ball 4. The bases are loaded after the walk to Torres.
Bad to worse. Bad to worse here in the 5th.
Number 32, Drew Wires.
And now what does the leash for Shea Went look like?
I don't know. He hasn't gotten an out yet.
2 walks and the base hits he has surrendered have just been rockets into center field. So the bases are loaded. No one is out. Drew Wires is the batter. And before the at-bat can take place, Eric Luxus makes his way out to the mound. We talked about how much is kind of riding on this game. Both teams are aware of it. And so every out, every pitch means something, especially in a tie game, now playing here in the 5th. And Eric Luxus will make the move to the bullpen.
Well, there's your answer, Cory. There's the leash.
In a highly anticipated, highly coveted game between these two West Division rivals. Little margin for error. Shea Went came in, 2 hits, 2 walks. The game is now tied. The bases are left loaded with no one out. Bottom of the 5th. The Gatemen go to the bullpen looking for answers here on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the second year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today. Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
The Gatemen in a jam right now. The Braves have tied the game up at 3 against Shea Went. He leaves the bases loaded, doesn't get anyone out across 4 batters. They all reach. And now Bourne in search of their first lead of the night. Park, who has come in a lot of these tight jams with runners on base, is asked to come up huge in a tough spot. Bases loaded, no one out for the lefty out of Louisville.
Well, Stark has been so good over his last couple of appearances. Inning in a third inning. Just 1 hit allowed, 4 strikeouts. And it's kind of that unconventional arm slot, kind of a sidearm lefty that doesn't throw very hard either. Mid-80s with his fastball. That breaking ball tends to be his go-to pitch, especially later in counts. So now if you're Stark, a great chance to, even if the Gatemen give up 1 run here with the bases loaded, nobody out, that has to be considered a win for Stark. Just get out of this inning within 1 run and then hope that your offense can kind of go to work against Bourne, who has the worst pitching staff in all of Cape Cod statistically.
And the Braves obviously have come to play offensively. We know that, but they've been able to limit the damage. And now striking here in the bottom of the 5th. Each team has scored a single run in 3 separate innings, but the Braves looking for more, trying to score in bunches. All of these runners are Shea Went's responsibility. Holcomb on at third walked. Sefcik an RBI single. Torres a walk. Stark into the game. Lefty out of Louisville. Corner infielders are in. Middle infield is back. Bases loaded, no one out. First pitch of the at-bat to Wires, who's 0 for 2. They say he did not go around as he was able to hold off on a pitch on the outside corner. 2 flyouts for Wires tonight. Came in at 265, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. Stark, the third arm used tonight by the Gatemen. His 1-0 pitch on the way. That one just misses outside. 2-0 on Wires. A hitter's count for the Bourne third baseman. Switching over from third to second after the defensive change. Braves in search of their first lead of the night. Starks 2-0. At the top of the zone, called strike 1. Eight hits for Bourne tonight. Trend certainly holding out. Pitching hasn't been fantastic, but the lineup has made up for that. Can Stark weather the storm? His 2-1 pitch slings in there on the inside corner, a called strike 2. The Gatemen got out of the bottom half of the 4th. Colby Turner nabbing Mark Quitrani. Play at the plate. Rogers applies the tag to limit the damage. Here's Starks, 2-2 on the way. Popped up. Third base side, charging in his Kale, and he makes the catch in foul ground. A weak number off the inside part of the bat. Kale had to get to it quickly.
Now batting from Notre Dame, catcher number 12.
Not a whole lot in terms of launch angle, but a huge out number 1.
Awareness and speed from Jack Kale over at third. He had a lot of ground to cover to try and get down that third baseline, and that was towards home plate, but a difficult play for Drew Rogers to make, especially trying to locate that ball in the air after trying to catch. And there's that unproductive out. Now, Cory, you get a ground ball here and a double play on Mark Quattrani, you're out of the inning.
Let's see what Stark can produce. Corner infielders remain in. Middle infield halfway. Lefty on righty. Quattrani swings at the first pitch. High chopper to third. Kale steps on the bag for one. Play at the plate in time. They go back to first. And now they're arguing batter interference.
I don't know how that can't be interference.
On the play at the plate.
Absolutely. Well, Drew Rogers stepped on the plate immediately, and then his throw over to first, he got trampled by Holcomb, who was coming in.
Initially, it seemed like Kale was going to step on the third base bag, but then came home. You get the out
Well,
there.
it was the smart decision to get that lead out and get that lead runner. Because if you step on third and then your throw across the diamond isn't in time, then you give up that run. So you go home, you get the lead runner out, but Rogers stepped on home, and Braden Holcomb is not a small guy by any stature. He may play center field, but, I mean, that is a tall figure, and he was heading home with a lot of force. Drew Rogers almost got table-topped on his throw, and his throwing arm he was about halfway through that throw when Holcomb hit him.
And so
he probably gets more velocity on that if it gets over to first. And that was a close play at the bag anyway.
The very least, they get the out at the plate, which is most important.
Yeah, the game
but a
stays
double
tied.
play would get them out of the inning. That's what Ryan Smythe is arguing. To your point, the batter interference, the contact on Rogers, and now a conference between the three umpires.
I just don't know from our vantage point and seeing that with the naked eye, I don't know how that can't get called as runner interference on Bourne, because Drew Rogers' throw and his ability to make an accurate and on-time throw was absolutely hindered.
And this has been a prolonged discussion.
This might be the longest conversation between umpires that we've seen throughout the course of this season. Now, almost every single time, the call on the field will not get overturned, but, I mean, this is certainly a situation where three umpires definitely could have saw, a situation, because this is the main play. They call him out.
Jim Fonseca raises the right hand, indicating an out, a double play. Kale comes home. They get the out at the plate.
That is the correct call.
The Rogers return throw to first. They rule interference on Holcomb coming to the plate. The Gatemen get out of the inning without giving up any more runs. Ty Stark gets in. He gets all three outs. The game is now tied up at 3, but no more. 3-3 through 5 innings. Miracle pitching work by Ty Stark. We move ahead to the 6th. We're in store for a fun one down the stretch. Josh Richardson has you the rest of the way on Cape League TV.
When it comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
A-Plus repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time. Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
We're back at Doran Park for the 6th inning, and boy, oh boy, Cory, does it feel like every single inning so far has had some fireworks. We're tied 3-3 with the Gatemen coming up to bat. It'll be Turner, Yost, and Jack Kale, 6, 7, 8 in the Wareham order.
It's interesting because as a team, if you just gave up the lead, you probably wouldn't typically have a ton of momentum, but the fact that the Gatemen got out of a bases-loaded situation with no one out, without allowing another run to score and then go behind, I think Wareham gets some of that momentum back. A huge turn of events there to end that 5th inning on that double play, runner interference ruling. The Gatemen, I don't think catch a break because they probably would have turned the double play anyways, but as you said, the right call was made. And now a chance to go ahead again here against Brown.
6th inning starts off with Colby Turner. He's 0 for 1 with a sac fly. That was back in the 3rd. It's the last run that Wareham has scored tonight. First pitch, breaking ball that misses upstairs. Jack Brown stays in the game for his 2nd inning. To recap the home half of the 5th, Shea Went came in to relieve Caden McDonald after 4 innings of 2-run ball. Went had a single up the middle, 1-0 pitch, misses downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes on Turner. Single, walk, RBI single, and then another walk to Jason Torres. Had the bases loaded. Nobody out, 1 runner has already scored at that point. 2-0 pitch, flied and foul, just over our heads behind home plate. Drew Wires fouled out on a nice play to Jack Cale. Charged in from 3rd and foul ground towards home plate to make the first out. And then Mark Quattrani grounded over to 3rd base. Cale fired home, got the lead runner. 2-1 pitch, fouled down that left field line out of play. Got the lead runner, and then as Drew Rogers throwing over to first base, Braden Holcomb, that lead runner that was coming in to attempt to score, kind of trampled over Rogers, slowed down the velocity off of the catcher's throw down to first. Originally, the rule was that the bases were just going to be loaded with 2 outs. Ryan Smythe came out to talk to home plate umpire Jim Fonseca. He grabbed J.C. Fernandez and Anthony Letizio. Turner strikes out swinging. They talked things over and ruled that Quattrini was out at first on the runner interference.
And we mentioned it a lot of times, those conferences between the umpires take place, but seldomly does a call actually get overturned. So the fact that
that might be the first one that we've seen,
yeah,
Cory.
And that it went the right way, seemingly. Definitely the Gatemen coming out on the right side of that play.
First pitch to Hayden Yost. Fastball down the middle, strike 1. And the Gatemen have sure had their fair share of disagreements with umpires in the past. Ryan Smythe's been ejected a few times this season. Yost chops that one foul out of play. But never to the point where a meeting between umpires overturns a call, one that was made on the field. With no replay system, it's pretty difficult to do that. O2 pitch, just misses away.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of passion between both Scott Landers out of that Bourne dugout and Ryan Smythe out of the Gatemen dugout. Obviously, sticking up for their teams. We mentioned it earlier. They know the magnitude of this game and its importance.
Here's the 1-2. Skips in the dirt ahead of Yost. Bounces in and out of the glove of Quattrini. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You mentioned it. Gatemen 19-16, first in the West. Bourne 16-17-2. That's 2nd place. Separated by just 4 points. A Gatemen win would all but clinch the West Division top seed moving into the playoffs. Yost swings and misses, strike 3. And an opportunity like that, Cory, to get a win over Bourne, the number 2 team.
Third baseman number 6, Jack Cale.
At that point, it would need Bourne to win out, Wareham to lose out for the Braves to take over that 1 seed in the West. So at this point in the season, game 36 out of 40. A huge spot for both squads. Jack Cale takes a fastball away, ball 1.
And we mentioned it is interesting kind of when you look at what advantages being that top team in the division gives you. It's that home field advantage throughout at least the West, the first 2 series in the playoffs.
1-0 downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes on Jack Cale. He's 0 for 2 today, 1 for 5 on the season entering play.
And now, of course, talking about it the other day, the Gatemen have a much better record on the road than they do at home. They've been playing better at home as of late, but still, I think they want that title. They're hungry for that.
2-0 pitch, hammered into left field. That's slicing. Jan Legrande just ahead of the wall. He makes the catch.
3 up, 3 down in the 6th for Jack Brown heading into the home half. Bourne trying to take the lead on Cape League TV.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
After 5.5 innings, Braves coming up to bat, still tied 3-3 from Doran Park. Ty Stark out on the mound for his second inning of action, his first full. Now just trying to keep this game tied. I'll tell you what, Corey, we talked about it a little bit in between innings, but Shea Went has to be thanking his lucky stars for Ty Stark not affecting any of the runs that would have been charged to him if they came around to score.
Exactly right. This Gateman team as a whole, really. Especially if Wareham can win this game and secure a division title. You go back to the work Stark did on the mound. Obviously the work by Kale at third, Rogers at home to turn that double play, but what brilliant pitching.
First pitch to Ryan Cooney, breaking ball in for strike one.
I mean, just no wiggle room. You inherit all those base runners in a pivotal game, arguably the biggest game of the summer. The division riding on the outcome, and you come through like that.
Stark's 0-1, fouled away. Back to the netting, it's 0-2. Yeah, you mentioned it. Shea Went had given up a run at that point already, but his line closed. No outs, 2 hits, 1 run, it was earned. 2 walks, no strikeouts. Stark inherits, bases loaded, nobody out. Gets a foul out, then a double play, courtesy of a runner's interference. The 0-2. This is outside. Cooney's 0 for 1. He reached on an error back in the 4th. That was a high chopper to Chris Ramirez. Tried to turn a double play. Ended up scoring a run. 1-2, fouled back.
And if you're the Gatemen, yeah, you gave up the lead in the 5th, but you really just, I think, come out almost on top because that had disaster inning, big inning written all over it. The way the Braves are swinging it, you just envision another base hit, 2-3 more runs come in to score. They get 1. The game's tied.
1-2 pitch, offered at and fouled off. Cooney just got a piece of it. It'll stay 1-2.
I think really the only thing, obviously, again, you give up the lead, but at some point, I don't think a 3-2 lead probably would have held. The only thing that you really lose is you probably get to Stark sooner than you would ideally like to, so the bullpen will probably be a little extra burden tonight. But, again, the worst-case scenario avoided in a big way.
1-2, fouled off again. Cooney refuses to go down easily. Yeah, obviously it would have been nice to maybe have this be Stark's first inning if Shea Went can give you a full inning of work. McDonald, 4 innings, 6 hits, just 2 runs allowed, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Bourne had optimism that it could get to McDonald's fastball. And even with just the 2 earned runs allowed, a lot of hard contact from the Braves. That transferred over to Went. Stark so far, pretty good. Pitch misses inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes from the lefty from Louisville. trying to get this first out of the 6th. And to take it into the 7th, Cory, if Stark can get out of this inning, keep it scoreless, keep it tied. This is game 5, final slate of the season between the Gatemen and the Braves. 2-2 pitch, chopped foul again down that third baseline. Just about every single game has been close in some proximity. The first matchup of the season, Gatemen were down by 1 entering the 6th inning, scored 2. Mother Nature plays a course. Game gets rained out, goes back to last completed inning. So goes from up by 1 to losing by 1. The following day, lost 5-2 at home. Then you win 5-4 at home and then lose 9-8 at home. 3 games separated by just 1 run. Stark loses control of that breaking ball. It goes all the way to the backstop. No chance for Rogers to catch. And a payoff pitch coming up, rather, to Ryan Cooney. To get into the 7th in a tie game, 3 outs apiece, and it all coming down to the bullpen, certainly feels like a playoff atmosphere that we have tonight. Payoff pitch to the leadoff man, Cooney, is chopped foul again.
Adeline off of Stark hasn't been able to put him away. I think just trying to keep fire strikes and make Cooney beat you with the bat, as opposed to putting him on base with the free pass. Every out's really going to matter here late in this game now, second half of the game, in a tie game.
Stark was ahead 0-2. Now Cooney's worked it back to full. The infield shifts for the Gatemen over to Cooney's pull side. Braden Randall shifts over to the left side of second base. Here's the 3-2, hit into right field, high in the air, medium depth. Turner under, and he makes the catch. Colby Turner barely had to move, one away here in the 6th.
And I don't know how the Gatemen will deploy their bullpen following Stark, but I think the question is for Wareham, how do you get to Tony Pluta in the 9th or in a save situation? Because I imagine at this point he might be your de facto closer. It's kind of seemed like it when he's been used in 2 close games since he's been added to this team. That starts with getting the lead, but again, it's then keeping that lead to Pluta with the save situation in the 9th. I think that's the key for the Gatemen right now, because if you get him the ball on the mound with only 3 outs, I think he's going to come through.
First pitch to John LeGrande, scores up a bunt, he pulls it back. Pitch misses away, a ball and no strikes. And that's the thing, Cory. Gatemen had to use a pretty good amount of arms over these last 2 games. So yesterday coming into pitch, Schlageter, Bryce Turner, Tommy Egan, Cannon Clayton. So a couple of those arms not going to be as available. Pitch misses downstairs, 2-0 on John LeGrande. He's 1 for 2. So then you start to turn your attention. Well, you save Pluta for the 9th. Who do you go to in the 7th? Do you go to Logan Baisley? Do you go to Daniel Powell? 2-0. This is high.
It's an interesting question. Lazaro Calera and Tommy Skelding are 2 righty options. I wouldn't be surprised if the Gatemen turn to for an inning of work.
And that's the question if you bring in Calera. Last time out against Bourne in a starter's capacity, went just a third of an inning, 4 hits, 6 runs, all earned. The 3-0 misses inside. A 4-pitch walk for John LeGrande turns the lineup over back to the top. 1 on and 1 out here in the 6th.
And when you look at the numbers, they might favor the Gatemen in a close game just because pitching is so important to those contests, and Bourne is last in the league in ERA entering play. Wareham's pitching staff the past 7 days in ERA under 1, sub 1, the only team in the league to do that. But again, as you mentioned, the one challenge for Wareham, having used a lot of those bullpen arms, it's how many quality ones do you have left? See what they can do tonight.
Gavin Kelly, the righty, steps in, takes a breaking pitch. Down outside the zone, it's a ball and no strikes. And you mentioned that, Cory. Obviously, you can look back to the stats of every game coming into today, but all that matters is what takes place on the field. Those trends, those analytics, they only get you so far until it's time to be in the moment. Check over to first, not in time. Lazy throw from Stark. He fetches it back. It's 1-0. Kelly's 1 for 3. He had a single back in the 4th. Now check over to first. They picked off LeGrande. Throw down to second base. In time. Nice pickoff move from Stark. 2 away.
How big is that? Stark missing a little bit with his location the past 2 batters. That pickoff move so important to now let him kind of ease into this at bat, top of the order, and Gavin Kelly take care of a big runner with lots of speed in LaGrande.
1-0 pitch. Finds the inside corner, a ball and a strike.
In terms of bullpen arms too, Josh, Bryce Turner's been an effective one for the Gatemen, but he's pitching tomorrow, so likely won't see him. Baisley getting the start on Saturday.
It'll certainly be a chess match for Eric Luxus, the pitching coach, and Ryan Smythe late in this game. Breaking ball misses downstairs, 2-1. High fly ball, medium depth for Hayden Yost. Center fielder gets under it, and he makes the catch. Stark faces the minimum in the 6th. A nice pickoff route number 2 and a fly out for the 3rd. It stays scoreless, or stays tied, rather, heading into the 7th on Cape League TV.
Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 171 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team.
Safe.
The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Legacy Insurance has been servicing Wareham and the surrounding areas since 1980. Call Legacy Insurance for all your insurance needs at 508-295-1315. Legacy Insurance, your hometown agency.
As the sponsor of tonight's game, PCT Federal Credit Union is proud to root for the home team. We're thrilled to offer great rates on auto loans, home equity lines of credit, and so much more. Visit us on Cranberry Highway in West Wareham.
Wareham trying to break the tie in the top of the 7th. 9-1-2 due up in the Gatemen order. Rogers, Randall, and Ramirez trying to get that first run across against Jack Brown. The righty has been solid in relief of Folger Boaz tonight.
What work he has done, too. Talking about the battle of the bullpens at this point. His ability to go multiple innings. Because Bourne, obviously, they have a finite amount of arms at their disposal, too. This feels like a big inning for Wareham to take the lead, to put some of the onus off of your own pitching staff. Again, set Tony Pluta up in the 9th. Drew Rogers, extra base hits in back-to-back games. Can he get on, turn it over to the top of the order?
First pitch to Rogers, swings and liner over to 3rd and caught in the air from Cade Lewis. Nice play from the 3rd baseman, one away. That's why they call it the hot corner, Cory.
Exactly right. Rogers got a hanging breaking ball, recognized it just a little bit out in front, couldn't lift it enough over Lewis. Some loud contact, a good sign for the Gatemen. Still just looking for that go-ahead run at this point.
Brown has faced the minimum now through 2 1/3. Pair of strikeouts in the 6th for the righty. Now the lineup turns over to the top. It's Braden Randall. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. First pitch. Fastball finds the zone, 0-1. Randall, the team leader in doubles, is back in the 2nd. Put him over the double-digit line. He's at 10. 4 more than Chase Cruson and Chris McHugh. Tied at 6. 0-1. Cut on and fouled off. Just got a piece of it off the end of the bat. It's 0-2.
You can find a way on base right here ahead of Ramirez, McHugh, and McDonald. Maybe utilize that speed, too. We've seen that from Randall.
He's got 12 stolen bases, also atop the team, more than Chase Cruson. The 0-2 pitch just misses away. Randall stays alive. He had the off yesterday. We've talked about it a little bit. Well-deserved for him. And Chris Ramirez slipped into that leadoff position. Had a nice outing as well. Pair of hits. Now Randall comes back. Average at 278. 1-2. Breaking ball just misses away. Randall, 21 strikeouts in 29 games. Certainly limits the swing and the miss. 2-2. This is downstairs. From 0-2 to 3-2, he's worked it full.
That's how you do it. As any hitter, but a leadoff hitter especially, he just protects and battles at the plate when he gets to that 2-strike count. Anything close, he fouls away, and is now a base hit or a walk away from a base runner.
Ramirez on deck. The 3-2, swing and a miss. Fooled him with a breaking pitch, and a nice one at that for Jack Brown. 2 away here in the 7th.
That's just a beautiful pitch. Going after Randall, a breaking ball that just kind of sits on the table and then wipes out. The bottom comes out from underneath. Would have been a strikeout away. Really nice pitch from Brown for a big second out.
Ramirez is 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a punch out. Trying to start a 2-out rally. Gatemen did just that in the first. It started with Chris McHugh, ripped a double down the third baseline. Later came in to score. He stands on deck. First pitch, breaking ball misses downstairs, and Ramirez ahead. (1-0) downstairs. Ramirez ahead, 2 balls, no strikes. The shortstop from Cal Poly. Not playing anywhere during this summer before he came into Wareham over these last 13 or so games. What a big addition he's been. Fouls one off down that first baseline, out of play. Even after the 0 for 3 start tonight, sitting 400 on the summer with a 950 OPS. Couple extra base hits, but has done so much, single after single. Couple stolen bases as well. Played a remarkable defense at shortstop. 2-1, this is high.
And even with 2 outs, if you can find your way on base here, he's got great speed, can maybe get into scoring position for Chris McHugh, part of the order behind him. With 2 away, anything's possible with his speed.
It's a favorable part of the lineup to have up. McHugh grounds one over to third. It's Cade Lewis. Toss across the diamond is in time. Beat the speedy Ramirez.
If you can summarize,
attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by best lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Ave in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
We're still tied in the home half of the 7th. Gatemen and the Braves knotted at 3. Cory, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Ty Stark now out after 2 innings. Pitched well to get out of the jam back in the 5th. And now Tommy Skelding, the righty from Kentucky, steps in to try and keep this game tied.
It's kind of been somewhat of a slow burn, but Skelding has slowly but surely gotten his way into these high leverage spots. And lately he's really delivered. You look at the ERA at 7.56, it just kind of bloated from a few of those early appearances that just did not go his way. But he's been really effective lately, locating well. That's kind of been at the back of his success, has been that location, the fastball breaking ball combo. Likely going to be tasked with pitching this 7th inning, keeping the game tied, and giving the Gatemen with the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up in the top half of the 8th a chance to go ahead.
Now Skelding's first appearance of the season came on Independence Day. It was against Bourne at home. 2 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 3, and so that obviously where that inflated ERA comes in. After that scoreless inning against Falmouth, 2 runs against Harwich in an inning of play on the 16th, and then a contest against Bourne on the 18th. That was at home. First pitch to Cade Lewis, misses away. That was a matchup where it seemed like for the Gatemen it was all but over. Skelding entered the game for the 8th inning. Gatemen were down at that point 9-1. Pitched a flawless 8th. 1-0 pitch. Misses away with a fastball, 2-0. Pitched a flawless 8th. And then the Gatemen score 7 runs in the home half. Bring it to within 1. Eric Luxus, Ryan Smythe elect to keep Skelding out there, not waste another arm. So a big spot for Skelding. Got out of it with the help of his defense, a double play. Swing and a miss from Lewis. It's 2-1.
And that most recent problem, but 3 strikeouts. That's what stands out.
Pitch just below the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Big spot for Skelding tonight. Gateman pitching staff and pitching coaches have a lot of trust in him. Wave and a miss. It's 3-2.
Trust in a big spot because the wiggle room really isn't there. The bats have gone cold. He haven't scored a run since the 3rd inning. A couple of chances, but really just have to keep this game tied.
3 consecutive innings with a run, 1 through 3. That's fouled away from Lewis, and the count stays full.
And this really is a tough assignment for him against one of the top lineups in the league, 2, 3, 4 hitters. The way Skelding's been pitching lately, you're confident in him.
Skelding comes home. His payoff pitch misses away. Lewis on with a leadoff walk.
And this doesn't set you up well to begin the inning. A leadoff base runner with the heart of the lineup up at the plate now. You're Skelding, that location is going to be so important. You've obviously seen out of the bullpen the damage, but still, they're up to 8 hits now. I think you just have to set that out of your mind and pitch to your normal stuff. Attack the zone.
Up comes Braden Holcomb, the center fielder. 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Runner on, nobody out. 3-3 ball game. First pitch, wave and a miss. Back in that 5th inning, Holcomb was on 3rd. Bourne had tied it up. Down 3-2 entering the home half. RBI single from Cal Sefcik. Knotted it up at 3. With 1 out, Mark Quattrini at the plate. Holcomb was at 3rd. He scores up a bunt. Goes around. Strike 2 on the miss. He'll come home. Kale throws to the plate. Gets the out. Rogers then trying to throw to first to end the inning. Holcomb barrels into Rogers. Initially ruled safe. Swing and a miss. Down goes Holcomb. 2 away. And a runner's interference called as Holcomb kind of barreled over Rogers. Gateman got a big break there. Now get that first out.
They sure did, and the fact that the Gatemen were able to escape that inning without allowing any more runs and also get out of the 4th inning when there was that play at the plate, the throw by Turner to still get out of the inning with the lead intact. They have done 2 great jobs in those 2 innings to limit the damage.
Here's Sefcik. Fastball misses downstairs. He had that last RBI. Gatemen haven't scored since the 3rd, Braves since the 5th. It's the 7th of a 3-3 ball game. 1 out in the home half. Skelding's 1-0. Finds the zone rather. Check down to first is not in time. That one just clipped the corner. Jim Fonseca made the call.
It just clipped that corner, and then Rogers with the snap throw to first was able to frame it enough. Tougher as a catcher because you got to turn and throw it, but got enough of the plate, it looks like.
Pretty rare to get those strike calls when you're going to try and check on a runner. Lined over to second on the ground. Randall has 1 play. It's to first. 2 away.
Good decision right there. Randall moving to his left towards the first base bag. He gave second a look, and obviously you'd love to get that go-ahead run out and out of scoring position late stages of this game, but you just have to make sure you get an out no matter what in that situation. or going to first was the smart and right decision, and now Skelding an out away from getting out of the 7th.
They'll have to beat Jason Torres with a runner in scoring position. Torres coming in to play first base. A lot of defensive changeups for Bourne after just 1 inning. First pitch, breaking ball misses upstairs. Originally, the infield was Drew Wires at third, Riker Wade at short, Ryan Cooney at second, and Cade Lewis at first. Then after that first inning, Riker Wade exited. Cooney moved over to short. Wires to second. High fly ball. Shallow center field. Hayden Yost comes in, and he makes the catch. Gatemen escape a runner in scoring position, and we head into the 8th, all knotted up at 3 on Cape League TV.
Being a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or a family member has been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website, www.rkm-law.com.
Sync Law. Live, life, law. Covering all residential and commercial real estate matters. You live life to the fullest, and let us Sync Law. That's synclaw.com. Sync with an I, not a Y. Be selfish. We represent only you.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
We head into the 8th from Doran Park, still knotted at 3 between Wareham and Bourne. A battle between 1 and 2 in the West Division. A win for the Gatemen would essentially clinch that 1 seed with just a few games left before the playoffs start a week from yesterday. What a big spot to try and untie this game against Jack Brown, who's entering his 4th inning of action after 3 perfect innings.
I mean, he's just been so terrific on the mound for the Braves. The ability to get that depth out of the bullpen when Wareham scored 3 runs off of your starter. Looking at Bourne's lineup card, they have 4 more righties and 1 lefty, it looks like, available still, but the fact that they have only used 1 of them in total out of the bullpen, impressive.
First pitch to Chris McHugh. Fastball a little bit too far inside. It's 1-0. That's Brown's 34th pitch in now 3+ innings. The good news for the Gatemen, heart of the order, 3-4-5, McHugh, McDonald, Cruson. 1-0 breaking ball, finds the zone right at the belt, a ball and strike.
And I think also the fact that you've seen him now over multiple innings is in your favor. But again, I think you got to stay away from that 2-strike breaking ball. That tight breaking ball's got a lot of action. Want to stay away with it.
1-1 pitch, fastball chopped over to third. Cade Lewis across the diamond, throw is in time. McHugh was the first batter to face Jack Brown when he entered the contest, and now he's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts over to the left side of the infield.
They're putting the ball in play, decent amount off of him, just nothing really hard hit, and you haven't gotten anyone on base. The last time Wareham had a base runner, you got to go back to the 4th inning. So really, since Boaz has left the game, Brown has shut the Gatemen down. And I pose that question, how do you get to Tony Pluta?
First pitch, breaking ball, high in the air, shallow left field. Caden McDonald flies out, 2 away here in the 8th. And if you can get to Tony Pluta, Cory, in a save situation, the Gatemen would certainly take that, because Pluta, winning reliever of the year this past season at Arizona, That's somebody that you're going to have a lot of trust in down the stretch of a contest like this.
They say there's only 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and I guess maybe Tony Pluta might be the closest thing to a sure thing as you can get, though.
See, I always thought it was 85 is always open in reference to Chad Ochocinco.
But again, I think, listen, that's the dream scenario, but you got to get that go-ahead run in first.
Chase Cruson, chopper back up the middle. That gets through into center field. Drew Wires gave it a good run from second base, drifting over to his right. Couldn't get there. 2-out single for the Gatemen.
Now batting from Michigan, right fielder number
Obviously,
14,
leadoff or 1-out base hits are more valuable, come across the score more often than 2-out hits, but the ability to get that first base runner on against Brown, Cruson has got great speed. Turner's been such a great run producer at the plate. You have Yost on deck swinging a hot bat. This is a big spot. There's 2 away, but the Gatemen have speed on the bases with some hot bats up.
Turner already with a sac fly so far tonight. Been one of Wareham's most effective bats, especially with runners on. He's got 19 RBIs this summer. First pitch, swing and a miss. And important to note, Chase Cruson gets that single. It's the first base runner that Brown has allowed, so starting to crack a little bit, at least you might hope.
You hope so. You've seen more of his repertoire as he's gone deeper out of the bullpen. Makes it easier as a hitter.
Check over to first, not in time.
And just having a base runner a lot of times hopefully detracts some of the pitcher's focus from the plate. And with Cruson's speed, the Gatemen would love that.
He's got 9 stolen bases, tied for second on the team with Vance Cheyenne. Another check over late. Brown is certainly wary of Cruson on the base paths. Even a hit and run with 2 away. If Turner can put something into a gap, could score the go-ahead run. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
And this is a tough spot now. You love Colby Turner to get into a hitter's count because even with Cruson's speed, unless it's an extra base hit, tough to score all the way from first. So maybe down the line into the gap, but tough behind 0-2.
Brown kicks and fires. Pitch misses downstairs in the dirt. Ryan Cooney, the shortstop, all the way at the back of the infield dirt, nearly into left field, knowing that Turner's power could be dangerous. Swing and a miss. Turner down on strikes. Clutch pitching from Jack Brown. This game stays tied heading into the home half of the 8th on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Central Railroad is proud to sponsor the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. Experience the scenic beauty of Cape Cod like never before. Journey through picturesque marshes, cranberry bogs, and dunes on our historic rail line. Whether you're savoring a 5-course gourmet dinner, enjoying a Sunday brunch with a live jazz band, or bringing the family on a narrated excursion, there's a ride for everyone. Departing from Hyannis and Buzzards Bay, visit capetrain.com to book your ride today. Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of the lightweight planting soil for green roof installations, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your newly renovated Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Gateman left the 2-out single stranded on the base paths. So now Tommy Skelding back out in the home half of the 8th to try and keep this game knotted at 3 between the Gatemen and the Braves. Alongside Cory Miller, I'm Josh Richardson. Skelding delivered a leadoff walk to Cade Lewis. Ground out, fly out. Got Wareham out of the inning. The 8th starts with a fastball that misses high on Drew Wires. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of flyouts and a pop out. Righty on righty. 1-0 pitch. Misses inside, and that one's going to clip off of Wires' shoulder. Second straight inning with the leadoff man on for the Braves.
That's not the guy you wanted to hit, because he was the only Braves hitter coming into that at-bat who had not reached base safely. He was 0 for 3 tonight. Some might say he was due, but that's not how you want to make him earn a spot on base. One thing for Skelding, leadoff walk, bottom of the 7th. He was great pitching around that. He's got the bottom part of this order due up, but not how you want to start the late stages of a game.
Now here comes Mark Quattrani. RBI single in the 2nd, walk in the 4th, and then grounded into a double play in the 5th, courtesy of a runner's interference. Bourne with the go-ahead man on base. Skelding's first pitch, Quattrini shows bunt, fouls it off. Smart play from the catcher. Try and get a man into scoring position. In a game like this, anything that you can get closer to home is going to make a big difference. Especially for a game, Cory, that between two of the top 3 offenses across Cape Cod, maybe thought it was going to be high scoring, especially after the first 3 innings. 3-1 Gatemen lead has turned into a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Check over to first, not in time. No tag applied from Chris McHugh. Back to Skelding on the mound with Quattrini still awaiting his 0-1 pitch.
These bullpens have just been flawless pretty much.
The 0-1, Quattrini shows bunt again. That one pulls it back, pops out of the glove of Rogers. He recovers. It's a ball and a strike.
So Quattrani has shown bunt both of the first 2 pitches in this at-bat. And so we've seen oftentimes this summer a couple of bunt attempts, then they let the hitter swing away. But the fact that he did it the first 2 pitches, to me, indicates that it's likely going to come again. So if you're Skelding, you're going to try and put that ball in a spot around the plate, but a location that makes it really difficult, if not impossible, for Quattrani to get a good bunt down to advance that runner.
Jack Cale, the third baseman, nearly on the grass. Here's the 1-1, shows bunt again, pulls it back, pitch misses downstairs, gets away from Rogers, and over to second goes Wires. So the bunt job effectively done from Quattrani. And now a successful one could move that go-ahead run over to third with nobody out.
That's the last thing you wanted. I think it just, I kind of said you were trying for that perfect spot, location on the mound, but I think just trying to be a little too perfect on both ends. Skelding in that perfect spot, and then Rogers, I think he was thinking either way, if the runner on at first and Wires got too far off the bag, he was going to make a snap throw to first, and if Quattrani got the bunt down, he was going to come up throwing to one bag or the other. That one just out of his glove, kind of thinking about the throw before he had it. And so now a situation where Quattrani's got a pitch to play with, and like you said, could move that runner 90 feet away.
Now with no one on first, Chris McHugh sets up nearly parallel with the pitcher's mound. Quattrani swings and misses. It's 2-2. So no Jack Cale, even with the third base bag. Now everybody backs up to normal infield depth with 2 strikes. No chance for Quattrani to try and bunt now. Skelding's 2-2 pitch. Misses in the dirt, blocked by Rogers. And a payoff coming up.
These are just big pitches, and with 2 strikes, you're really trying to be perfect on the mound because you're obviously concerned with the base hit, giving Bourne the lead, but you can't let that affect your location. You still got to execute on a pitch around the zone to produce an out.
Quattrani started his summer in Falmouth, released from the Commodores, picked up by the Braves. His 3-2, high hit into left field. Cruising back, it's over his head, 2 hops the wall. Here comes Wires, he's in to score. Quattrani with a stand-up RBI double to give the Braves the lead here in the 8th.
What an addition he's been for Bourne. He had that grand slam against Chatham the other night in a 6-1 win, and that's just a spot where he got a pitch center cut and didn't miss it. Just absolutely clobbered it into left. Cruz had great speed, but nothing he can do. It's out of his reach, and now the situation becomes not only does that go-ahead run score to move the Gatemen down to their final 3 outs in the 9th, but a situation with another runner in scoring position with no one out. Insurance runs. Bourne's got a chance to get at least one.
Now Ryan Cooney steps up to bat. He's 0 for 3, reached on an error in the 4th. A pop out and a fly out, sandwiching that error. Quattrani on second. Still nobody away here in the 8th. First pitch, ground ball over into left field. Nobody's home. Quattrani stops at third. Cooney has the single. That ball gets away from Cruzen in left field. Here comes Quattrani. Cooney stops at second. And an error from Chase Cruzen in left is a costly one. There's the insurance run for Bourne. It's 6-3, or 5-3 rather, Braves here in the 8th.
Now batting from
Probably a situation. Quattrani was getting that stop sign applied the whole way. Ball just hit too hard. Not the best speed from the catcher. And so they weren't going to risk it at the plate already having that lead. But Cruzen potentially thinking about that throw before he scooped that ball up cleanly. And a costly mistake to put another runner on in scoring position and another run in.
Just went right under Cruzen's glove in left field. Drifted by about 6 or 7 feet. Long enough of a run to put Cooney on second, and Quattrani scores. Here's John LeGrande. Long look over at second. Skelding comes home. LeGrande scores up a bunt, pulls it back. It's 1-0. The corner infield crashing in. Jack Cale at third, Chris McHugh at first. The more insurance runs, the better for Bourne, knowing that the Gatemen can erupt for multiple runs in any inning. Did so the last time these two teams played with 7 in the 8th. 1-0 shows bunt, pulls back, strike anyway, a ball and a strike.
And that's the thing, that fact that the Gatemen nearly erased a 9-run deficit. It's in the back of your mind, but only having an inning now to play with on top of the 9th. Bourne right now just trying to put this game on ice.
Cale even with the bag. McHugh about 5 steps in from first. 1-1. Chopped over to McHugh. Down the line. He's got one play. No, it goes just foul. Jim Fonseca behind home plate made the call. Would have been a routine ground out for the first of the 8th. It would have sent Cooney to third, but the Gatemen get another chance to potentially make it unproductive.
And also for Bourne, 7, 8, 9 due up for the Gatemen in the top half of the 9th. Yost is swinging a hot bat, but Cale's only got 1 hit so far this summer. Rogers has struggled.
Check over to second, not in time. You have to imagine that maybe in a spot like that, if the game stays at 5-3, maybe you pinch hit Eris Rivera for Drew Rogers, have him come in. A couple different options for the Gatemen at that point. 1-2, grounder over to short. Chris Ramirez has one play. Over to third, not in time. Cooney was off and running. Ramirez tried to get that lead runner. Didn't even think that was a possibility. Instead of going to first for the easy out, everybody's safe. Runners on the corners in the 8th for Bourne.
Yeah, you definitely had that chance to beat the runner at third, but the throw a little too high. Cale was able to grab it, but then to bring it all the way back down. He's not a tall target at 5'9", so a better throw, you likely get an out. And then this potentially is an inning right now that could quickly unravel for the Gatemen.
Eric Luxus on the mound to talk to Tommy Skelding. It was a long chat with Shea Went on the mound before Luxus pulled the trigger and moved the second man out of the bullpen. No motion yet to right field. As it stands now, Skelding will stay in. Now Luxus trots back into the Gatemen dugout.
You know, obviously Bourne has scored this off the Gatemen pitching staff to take the lead, but I think a lot of this is on the fact that the Gatemen offense hasn't scored a run since the 3rd inning. Because I think you knew at some point Bourne was probably going to score some runs to break this tie. The fact that the Gatemen could not take the lead first set up too many pressure-packed situations, and Bourne was just not going to stay quiet with this offense forever.
Runners on the corners, throw to first, not in time. Still nobody out here in the 8th. Braves up 5-3. 10 runs for Bourne, just 6 for the Gatemen. 2 errors apiece. First pitch, shows bunt, pulls it back, throw down to second base with the stealing LeGrande is not in time. And now both runners into scoring position. Nobody was even covering the bag. Rogers lucky that one didn't drift off into center field with Ramirez and Randall covering late. Second and third, still nobody out. A Bourne base hit away from the Braves breaking this game wide open. Wareham with a 4-point lead over Bourne in the West Division. That's equivalent to 2 games. 0-1, swing and a miss from Gavin Kelly. Now, if Bourne comes away with this win, Cory, this score holds. How important are these last 4 games for the Gatemen down the stretch of this season to try and clinch that 1 seed in the division?
You can't overstate how important they are, and it's going to be a tough contest against Brewster tomorrow, that's for sure.
The 0-2, lined over into right field and through the shallow infield. Cooney scores, throw to home is offline. LeGrande scores, it's 7-3 Braves. With the infield in, all Kelly had to do was punch one out into the outfield, and he did his job. 2 RBI single from the right fielder.
The Gatemen have just kind of been playing with fire this whole inning, and some obviously credit to this Braves offense, but too many plays defensively that you just didn't get an out on in terms of the execution after that leadoff base runner.
First pitch fouled down that third baseline out of play, drifting into left field.
You go back to the leadoff hit by pitch, not what you want to do against a guy who was 0 for 3 tonight, and then Quattrani, who was showing bunt, even if he had gotten down cleanly, you get an out, runner on at second, but instead, wild pitch not caught by Rogers, runner on at second, Quattrani swings away, and that's where the damage all started.
0-1 to Lewis. Fastball finds the plate, 0-2. Eighth inning has completely unraveled for the Gatemen. Knotted at 3 entering the home half. 4 runs put up for Bourne. Still nobody out. Breaking ball misses upstairs. A ball and 2 strikes.
And I think it's unfortunate because we've talked about how close these games have been, and these 2 teams could certainly be on a collision course for the playoffs, and you never know what happens, no matter what the seeding is, but the Braves have dominated the series.
1-2. Fastball misses the corner. A win for Bourne would give the Braves a 4-1 season series advantage. Certainly a disappointing outcome for the Gatemen, who have dominated just about every other team. Fouled off by Lewis, just got a piece of it. At least dominated most of the other teams in the West. Up 3-1 in the season series on Falmouth. Hyannis-Katuitt tied 2-2, but some of those wins over each haven't necessarily been close. 2-2 pitch. Chopper over to short, could be 2. Ramirez flipped to second, onto 1, in time. Gatemen turn it 6-4-3, 2 outs in the 8th.
It's
trying to just get one more.
It's a shame that that double play kind of came when it did, because Chris Ramirez just made one of the better turns I've ever seen from a shortstop. Coming in, the second base bag was sort of behind him at that point, and with his glove, the ball in his glove, just flicked it behind him, out of his glove hand to Randall at second. That was just extremely impressive to, at the very least, hopefully end this inning without any more damage.
Still got to get that last out. Now Braden Holcomb, the 3-hitting center fielder, up to the plate. Righty on righty. First pitch misses away. Gatemen didn't want to waste another arm. Eric Luxus allowing Skelding to finish his second inning of action. 1-0, fouled off.
And that's the thing. It would be an interesting decision if the Gatemen had gotten the lead, but I'm not surprised with it still tied that you're asking Skelding to go another inning because, again, you used a lot of arms yesterday. You don't have another day off until the end of the regular season. You can't just throw guys out there every single day. So unless you had the lead, no surprise to see Skelding asked to get another inning. But just the fact that you couldn't score offensively, no new arm.
1-1. Fastball misses downstairs and away. And that's one of the main things, Corey. A lot of these relievers for the Gatemen, who were relievers earlier in the season, kind of getting converted to starters because Wareham has lost so many, especially in this last week. Cooper Consiglio, Tate McGuire. 2-1 rocketed over to third, caught by Kale. Hard hit line out for Braden Holcomb, and the 8th inning ends mercifully for Wareham. Gatemen down to its final 3 outs as we enter the 9th on Cape League TV.
Comes to protecting your home, car, or business, trust the team that's been covering our community for generations. For personalized coverage and service that you can count on, the choice is easy. It's Morse, of course. Visit morseins.com today.
A-Plus repairs smartphones, tablets, game consoles, and computers. Get it done right the first time. Sports Turf Specialties has set the standard for high-quality natural grass athletic field construction. As a full-service athletic field construction company, we specialize in design, build, and renovation of native soil, modified soil, and sand-based athletic fields. Our team will provide you with superior quality, expert guidance, and continuing support long after the completion of our project. We are proud to have built the infield for the Wareham Gatemen field. Go Gatemen!
Wareham didn't make it easy for itself in the 9th. 4 runs surrendered from the Gatemen in the home half of the 8th. Have Wareham trailing 7-3 with the bottom of the order due up. Yost, Kale, and Rogers, 7, 8, 9. Trying to get it done and come back in what could be classified as nothing short of a miracle at this point against the righty Packy Bradley Cooney. Corey.
Out of Alabama, this is his 4th game. The Gatemen relieved that the guy on the mound is not Brown anymore because he had just shut the Gatemen down. Jack Brown had been lights out since he entered the game, replacing Folger Boas, but Packy Bradley Cooney, 3 games, 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, so his starts of the summer has been less than ideal with Bourne, the guy who pitched in 4 games out of the pen for the Braves last summer. So a better opportunity on paper for Wareham to try and come back. It's certainly a tough assignment. It starts with base runners. That was the winning formula for the Braves, or potentially could be in the bottom half of the 8th. They got base runners on, brought them home. You got the bottom part of the lineup up right now. You lead the league in runs. If you want to tie this game, you need to put guys on.
Gatemen put up 7 runs in the 8th inning against Bourne just a few weeks ago. At that point, trailing 9-1, 7 spot, lost 9-8. Hayden Yost had a couple big hits in that inning. He starts off the 9th with a fastball that misses high for a ball.
Right now, how do you want to be defined if you're the Gatemen? You want to go down quietly or put up a fight against this Braves team?
1-0 pitch, fastball down the middle. With a single back in the 2nd inning, it extended his hit streak to 10 games. Been such an effective hitter for Wareham as of late. Average up to 253. 1-1, wave and a miss on a break. Bottom of the order for the Gatemen tonight. Yost 1 for 3, Kale 0 for 3, and Rogers 1 for 3. 1-2, misses away.
And Yost, a guy, despite hitting 7th, the way he's been swinging a bat, he'd likely be at the top of the order for some teams. So if you're going to start 7, 8, 9, good guy to start with.
Cooney's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Yost whiffed at a breaking pitch. One away.
Columbia, third baseman number 6, Jack Kale.
Effective pitching right there. Bradley Cooney just mixing and matching with his pitches, attacking the zone. Tough at bat for Yost. Now the assignment becomes even more difficult with that leadoff man retired.
Fastball misses high on Jake Kale. Second start of the season for Kale. Came in as a pinch hitter in the 2-1 loss to Hyannis. That was back on Sunday. Got the start yesterday over Chatham. First hit, high fly ball, deep center field. Holcomb back. Now comes in, he makes the catch. 2 away. Kale just a little bit under it. Didn't miss it by a whole lot.
Georgia Tech, catcher number 23, Drew Rogers.
So it'd be a tough one to swallow for the Gatemen, barring a miracle at this point in the 9th, Cory.
It would be. The way you started this game, you got out to a 1-0 lead, was up to 3-1. You were playing really well. And then just sort of a lack of execution, especially offensively, since then.
First pitch skips in the dirt ahead of Rod. A ball and no strikes.
You knew what was at stake. Both teams did coming into this game. And you give them credit, it was tied up until late, but to come away not with a win, it's frustrating.
Ball misses outside. 2-0 for Drew Rogers. And McDonald still 4 innings, just 1 run allowed. ERA at 3.16, so he did his job on the mound to start. Breaking ball in the zone, 2 balls and a strike. Offense had plenty of opportunities to try and come through. 2-1, wave and a miss. Wareham down to the final strike.
And I think that's the difference. The fact that this game remained in check for the Braves was the difference. You didn't distance yourself enough from them.
2-2, didn't offer. Pitch missed downstairs, and a payoff coming up to Rogers. Wareham falls to Bourne 7-3, and the Braves just 2 points away from first place in the West Division.
We already touched on it, but this is a really frustrating loss, I think, for Wareham. The way it started, things were looking good early on, and then just to go quiet with the bats from the 3rd inning on. I think you got just 1 hit after that 3rd inning. You're just not setting yourself up in terms of a recipe for success. And we said it throughout the broadcast, but a win tonight essentially put the division out of reach if you're any other team but the Gatemen. And now, as you really accurately put it, things get a whole lot more interesting. I think if you're Ryan Smythe and the Gatemen, it's just sort of that mentality of, we really have to earn this. If we want this division title, listen, we're going to get in the playoffs no matter what. But if you want this division title, you want this 1 seed, we have to really earn it these next 4 days. And then we're going to make the Braves play well on their end. And then we want to face them in the playoffs and send them home early for the summer in the playoffs. That just has to be the mindset. It's tough when you're 1-4 now on a division rival on the summer. But if you win these next 4 games, or a majority of them, you still come away with the division championship. It just gets a lot tougher now.
A peek around Cape Cod, specifically in the West Division. Gatemen, 38 points. Bourne with the win up to 36. Katuitt, a big win over Harwich,